Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Toy Photography Talk. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We have some special guests tonight. Special guest A, for number one, would be Jason Michael from Instagram. Jason B. Michael on Instagram. How you doing tonight, Jason? And Harry from Cinematoygrapher. Oh, he came
How's
prepared.
it going, guys?
Mine.
What's up?
Oh, not a lot, man. I'm so happy that you were able to make it. I know it was kind of short notice.
No, we talked about this like a month ago, and I suck at keeping promises. So thank you for hitting me up.
Well, I could have kept in more contact with you too, but I was sitting there. I was like, man, I gotta get ready to go out of town, and I was like, wait, I need to hit up Jason and see if he can make it. So,
yeah, absolutely. I asked my wife immediately. I was like, I told this guy, he's a great photographer. His co-host is also a great photographer. They want me on the show tomorrow. I forgot to answer him. I feel bad. She says, go ahead. I'm going to be knitting all night. Doesn't matter.
You said knitting? You said knitting? That's all.
Yeah. She loves to knit, man. She puts on a podcast or some true crime shit, and then she just knits away.
Oh man,
that is
sounds
awesome.
like a good time.
My wife does something similar. She used to do a lot of the knitting, but she kind of blew out her wrist, and now she's moved on to quilting.
Okay. She's like, I'm not going to do something simpler. I'm going to go more intense.
yeah. Well, it's not as, because knitting, you're doing this with your wrist all day, and it just blows them out. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Noble Young, of course, the first one in here, as per usual. JC Carlito, our member, which is awesome. H Green 1313. He's one of my co-hosts of my Toy Talks. So it's great seeing you guys in here. And of course he says, let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Jason B. Michael. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I'll give a big shout out to Carlito there, give him that special attention. He got one of our first wallpapers. He got the Batman wallpaper.
Oh,
that's
nice,
one of the things I'm doing with memberships is we're doing, some of the photography I'll make into wallpaper. So the first one we did was the Batman in the warehouse. And the next one is gonna be one of Harry's. So
very cool.
To put that poll up this week. So
awesome.
Jason, let's start off with some basic questions. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing photography?
I think I hit 3 years in February, man. Like February 9th or something like that. So I'm just entering. Is it my third year or my fourth year? Let's see. I started in 2019.
Wow, we started at the same time then.
Yeah, roughly
around that too. Yep.
Yeah, everybody's looking at the same people, right? Just hey, these guys are taking pictures. Maybe I should grab my camera.
I think when the pandemic hits, everybody just went, let's photography.
Oh shit! No, then mine is 2018. Then I've been doing it for roughly a year. No, I started early 2019. The pandemic actually kind of moved in. Oh, man, I'm stuck with dates. Maybe it's 2018.
I started when I saw Sergeant Bananas on Test It and saw what he was doing.
Right.
And then I was like, I got toys, and I got a camera. Let me start taking pictures. And then I was like, man, I'd love to be able to pick his brain, but I don't know how to get a hold of him. I think he's one of your friends, but
we've become friendly. Yes, over. I had him on to have a talk about toy photography, and I don't know what happened after that, but there's a really weird story about Bananas and me because a while back I had actually done a shot. Popeye shot where he was walking with the pail and the dog and all that stuff. And I wasn't supposed to post it on Instagram. It was just a test shot. So I was testing how to create rain. And I usually go back and watch Johnny's stuff, a lot in order to study. The thing is, I liked the shot so much that I posted it, having forgotten that I had actually kind of basically done his exact setup. And I was like, oh no, because what Johnny did is he posted his shot to his stories. And I knew exactly, it was like his most passive aggressive way of saying, you fuck, why did you copy me? And so I reached out to him after that because he had recently followed me because of a Joker shot that I'd done. And I apologized. I said, listen, this was supposed to be me testing things out. And I completely forgot because I even showed him, like, I had it on my phone. Like the shot of his was my background so that I could kind of just go back and see how he'd set it up, where the lights were and all that stuff. And so we were it was kind of cold. He said it was water under the bridge and all that stuff. And, I still feel super bad because I'm Canadian. We apologize for everything. And but when I had him on and we talked and I kind of broke down and went in depth on his toy photography, I don't know if it touched him in a way or if he was happy about it or something like that. But we really kind of connected on that episode. And I said I'd send him Vapor because he had missed the pre-order window. and I had an extra vapor. And so I said, shoot me your address and I'll send out vapor to you. It's really no big deal to me. And we've been, friendly since. So yeah, mistake repaired. I'll say it that way.
That is awesome.
Good save. Good save.
I missed out on a pre-order window apparently just recently, that new Nosferatu they came out with. I totally missed that one. I have the original one, obviously.
Right.
But I missed the new one, and I've been trying to track it down for a reasonable price, and I don't know. I mean, it's $400 all day.
Midnight release, man, was like I stayed up to see what it looked like. I tried to get it, and then when the site crashed, I was like, I'm just going to bed.
Well, I've been checking my local comic shops. I'm hoping maybe some of them got in there and ordered some, but
I mean, how much is it? People are selling it for like what, $200 now?
US? It's for like $4 right now.
Oof. On eBay, yeah, but I mean, if you go into the Mezco groups and things like that, you'll find them much cheaper than that.
Oh, well, I'll have to look in there then. I haven't looked in there. Just looked.
Yeah. Check the Mezco groups; they're a lot cheaper. But at the same time, I mean, it's just weird to see them pop up, every now and then. Like, if you're gonna order them, just use them.
I know Trevor's got them, and I saw his pictures, and I was like, wait, he comes with bats and a wolf, and I was like, I don't really need the different colored Nosferatu, but I do want the extra heads, the cloak, the bats, the wolves. So that's why I'm really trying to get them kind of cheaper,
Yeah, February 9th, 2019. There you go. February 9th, 2019.
Right around the time I started. If I go all the way back to my stuff, it's in February. It was I had some NECA Predators, and then they kept falling over, so I bought a Hot Toys Predator.
I good call. That one won't fall over much.
Yeah, the NECA ones, even with the stands, the ankles just crumple underneath it, and they just.
I don't know, like NECA Predator. I had bought one. It broke when I took it out of the box. I went back to the store. The guy said I can replace it, no problem. So I got one. It was missing 2 pieces. I brought it back. He says, you have to contact NECA. And I was like, listen, man, I mean, I bought it at your store. Why would I contact NECA?
Yeah.
And he says, it's their problem now. And so I said, listen, just give me my money back and, screw it. And so that's the last I ever heard of NECA Predators. I was just like, man. Two strikes. There's no way. I'm not going to go buy it.
I got their queen from Big Bad Toy Store, the NECA Alien Queen, which is like a really, really nice looking piece. But the inner jaw, there's 2 of them that come with it, and neither of them fit into her mouth. Like it was poor quality control, and the bit that goes into the hole or whatever. And so I contacted NECA. And they told me to contact who I got it from, and they said, well, we can't get it from NECA, because I just wanted extra parts. I didn't want to send it back. I wanted my queen. And Big Bad Toy Store, they made it right. They're like, we'll just reimburse you, and you can keep it. I was like, all right. Now that it's free, I don't really mind that the inner jaws aren't fitting at all.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll just drill a hole in it. It didn't cost me anything.
I'll use the jaws in another shot, like somebody's pulled one out or something. You're just like,
that's a great idea.
So, but yeah, so that's what I did there. But we've been talking about toys. Let's move into some photography talk. So, Jason, what is your preferred camera to shoot with? What do you like to shoot with?
The one that my wife had. I don't own a camera. I actually use my wife's camera.
Whoa!
Because she bought one thinking that she'd get interested, and she did it for like a week, and she was like, "This is too technical. I don't like this stuff. You should try it out." And I was
free
like,
camera, great.
Yeah. So, but it was just kind of collecting dust in one of our bookcases. And when toy photography came along, I had started doing it with my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just grabbing my iPhone and going out and taking a couple of pictures, throwing snow at figures. And eventually I was like, well, everyone seems to have, maybe I should learn, I've always loved cameras. Why don't I just pick up the camera and see what's up? And so I asked Leslie, I said, hey, you're not using your camera. Do you mind if I kind of give it a go? And she was like, it's there. Just take it. Yeah. And here we are now.
It's basically yours.
It's a Canon T5i. I haven't upgraded yet. So Canon T5i. The main lens that I use is a 50mm, the Nifty 50.
Yeah.
About the same.
And I bought, I just recently got myself for my birthday a 24mm. I wanted to check that out and have a wider lens, wider angle, but at the same time, it kind of works as a macro. I was pretty close. I wasn't like really extremely close up, but the 50, you have to kind of be at a certain distance in order to get that focal point. But with the 24, I was surprising. I was like, I think it was 10 to 15 centimeters away, and the image was still clear. So I was like, that is pretty cool. So I'll be able to get myself a few close-ups if I want to.
Nice.
It's cool. It's cool.
Well, I know I use a crop sensor. I'm on a mirrorless. Harry, are you cropped or not cropped?
Yeah, it is cropped as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blackmagic 4K. Yeah.
So we're shooting equivalent to 50, but not 50 because we
Yeah.
have that crop factor.
Crop sense.
Oh, I have a crop sensor.
Oh, is it?
Canon T5i is a crop sensor, man. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm the same thing. So basically, the 50 mil is going to give me what, 56, 57 roughly?
Oh no, you're depending on if it's 1.6 times crop, you're probably closer to 70.
Really?
Yeah.
I suck at math, man. So thanks.
I don't know this exact math, but I know like my 32 is almost the equivalent of a 50. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should look into that. Maybe my 24 is the new 50.
Yeah, you're 24 probably.
Very possible.
50.
Very possible. What's going on, Docinator? How you doing today? Thank you. This shirt came free with my toy.
Hey, Cigars and Bacon. Is that a name? Oh man,
Yes,
Cigars
yes. He's my co-host on most of my other
Cigars.
shows. H Green, our co-host on my other shows.
I got that. That's a great handle. And now I want a cigar. I was gonna go out today because snow's melting here like crazy, and I've been craving a cigar for such a long time. And so I'm like, Anyway, so Cigars and Bacon. I had bacon on Sunday. I mean, I had cigar on Thursday.
Hell yeah.
That should be a shirt.
Yeah,
I love it. Cigars
smoking.
and Bacon.
I had to do this
T-shirt.
I had to go to the vape. I had to quit smoking. I was feeling it in the chest too much.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
I still do
once every month or two or something like that. You know, because I enjoy it. But I mean, I'm not an avid smoker.
Yeah, in moderation, right?
Yeah, absolutely, everything.
Well, when you smoke cigarettes, there's no such thing, and plus you're paying what they charge per pack now, I guess. But at the time, it was just like
what are the
2 packs a day.
now?
Depending on where you're at, it's like $5, maybe even $10, depending on where you're at for a pack of cigarettes.
That's US. How much is cigarettes here now, I bet? Do we know how much cigarettes are here in Canada? It's like $10, $12 a pack.
I think it's about 16.
16? 16 Canadian dollars. So that means roughly, I'd say 12.
12,
American.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like California or New York prices. Yeah.
That's insane.
So that's crazy.
So just imagine if you have to drive to pick up your smokes right now for gas.
Oh,
that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going on a road trip next. Thursday is when I'm actually leaving, so I'm going on a road trip starting Thursday. Man, it's gonna be an interesting drive. With gas prices the way they are, and I drive a Jeep, so it likes gas as it is. It's
you going somewhere for work, somewhere for pleasure, somewhere for whatever?
I haven't seen my folks in a few years, and they're getting up there, so I need to go see them. I just
very cool.
The thing, we try not to name it on the YouTube because they like to demonetize you, but the thing that happened was kind of messed up travel plans for the past couple of years. So
yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, but Cigars and Bacon says can never have enough cigars and bacon is what he says. Carlito.
Oh, yeah, high taxes, but at the same time, free healthcare.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the taxes pay for the healthcare, so it's not really free. But at the same time, yeah, high taxes is.
But you're not getting like 20 different bills like I do. I went to the
exactly,
doctor for a staph infection, and I had 3 different doctors bill me. I'm like, I only saw one, but they're like, no, this one came in your room and had a drink of water and said hi to you, and you're paying for that now. Come on. They weren't in your network either. It's just come on.
Yeah.
But Carlito apparently worked in Canada for 6 months. High tax.
Yeah. Can never have enough cigars and bacon. I'm pretty sure that health would probably say otherwise, but I agree in terms of taste and fun.
Until you're on the deathbed.
I can't speak too much for cigars. I haven't had any that I've really gotten into, but bacon, yes, I can go for some. So, Jason, what picture were you looking to talk about today? Like you mentioned one earlier, and I guess.
I mean, I don't even know how this works. I don't know how to share my screen.
I can share it.
I'm too old now.
I can share your Instagram pictures.
Very cool. No, I didn't have anything to talk about it. Do you guys want to talk about a specific one? Is there something that you like? I mentioned to you that I like my Atticus Doom shots didn't do too well algorithm wise, but I'm quite fond of them. I had so much fun with that character.
Don't get me started on the algorithm. It's
I know
me
it's killing everybody, man.
It's just eating me alive because I'm not gonna do reels. It's too.
So much work.
I'm not gonna I try not to get onto trends either. I do them because I explained to people are like, well, why do you do that? You're getting into the most the popular things and stuff like that. And I'm like, but I do it because it's fun. I used to edit short films. I used to be a short filmmaker, and it's fun for me to keep that, you know, process going for some reason. You know what I mean? Because the editing process, whenever I was shooting a short film, was always the most fun. Directing the actors and all that stuff is relatively pleasant, but my actors don't talk, so I don't necessarily have to do too many cuts when it comes to that. So, but editing it together in a way that I find fun, you know, and I've actually gotten not too bad at it, so it doesn't take me as long as it when I first started doing the reels and the TikTok videos and all that stuff. But it's just a way for me to have fun and archive most of my behind the scenes, right? So I technically wouldn't have to do reels, but at the same time, I'll play the game in as much as it is still fun for me to do. The other aspect of it right now, like posting pictures and getting that cringe, like that anxiety of, is this shot going to do well? Am I posting at the right time? Am I using the right hashtags? Am I going to get dinged because I'm not posting any Batman shots right now? It's fucking stupid, you know? And so it's beyond frustrating,
So true.
to be honest right now, because like the work itself is not being seen. And I mean, like, it can vary. I understand like people are not going to be particularly interested in a character like Atticus Doom, you know, but I know that most of the people that follow me, you know, understand that I kind of have an interest in photographing Mezco toys because I like the soft goods that they come with, and they're, you know, 1/12 scale, and I think that that's kind of fun. I'd never had figures like that before, and it's very interesting for me to take that because I like the way it hits the light and all that stuff. And the bizarre characters are the ones that I have a little bit more fun with as well. How many more Batman shots or Boba Fett shots do people need? You know what I mean? So to me, I'd rather gravitate towards. I like the Joker. I mean, maybe that could be something of a ding on me as well because, you know, he is a popular figure. I tried to jump on the trend of the fact that Barry Keoghan's, you know, little 5-minute Joker thing. You know, so I was like, maybe I'd love if you know, maybe this one did well, and it did okay. You know, for what it was. But when you look at the analytics for it, like when in terms of hashtags, I think it reached 200 people, you know, versus my following that, you know, now they finally showed it to like maybe 10K. And I'm like, oh, well, finally. Because normally it's usually the opposite. You know, they don't show your following, but then you manage to get up on the Explore page. And for some reason it takes off. But yeah, so I mean, I had fun, you know, building that shot. I wanted to do something with the, you know, the Joker. I'd recently gotten that head from Jack out in England, JC Custom Paints, he's fantastic with it. And I had traded a figure for that Joker, that Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy the film, but the aesthetic of the figure is so cool, and the aesthetic of the character in the film is really cool. So I figured, you know what, maybe I'll try to combine it, you know, do two shots that are the same, one that looks exactly like the movie, one that looks more like a cartoon or a comic book or something like that, and let people decide what they like best.
Wow, I like them all.
Awesome.
Man. And that's the Mezco Joaquin Phoenix Joker that you replace a head sculpt with?
Nope, not even. The only thing that's Mezco's there is everything else.
Okay.
So I don't even know which that's. I don't think that's the Felix Toys Joker. I don't think it's the Karakji, the guy who makes the nice suits. So I think like what Vincent was explaining to me is that there was an initial pre-order for, I think it was that entire Joker, but I don't remember exactly where it was from. But that's it. So it's not, it's third party, and I have no idea where it's from, to be honest. So,
I didn't know there was third party 1/12 scale stuff, man. I thought it was all 1/6. I mean, I live in 1/6 scale usually. I mean, I rarely buy the 1/12, but
okay. No.
It might change though, because I'm getting tired of with the space that the 1/6 scale takes up.
Yeah,
Even though I like the sculpt.
I like it's a pain. H Green 1313, he says, I've given up worrying about likes and I'm trying to get better with my photography and enjoy the friends I have on the community. Totally understand that. That's exactly what I try to do. My issue though is because I work with Mezco on occasion, because I work with other little companies on occasion, I start worrying about analytics because I might lose those contracts. You know what I mean? So if my shots are not going out, if they're not reaching anybody, then it doesn't really give the company any incentive because I'm not necessarily worth the exposure because it's not actually being seen by anyone. So I don't know necessarily. I think my relationship with Mezco is actually, quite solid. Obviously, they'll move on to somebody else eventually. I have a few contracts. They've dealt with other people as well, but I'm in a pretty good position where, on occasion I'll get a few contracts. And I know for a fact that it's because they like my work and not necessarily the exposure that I can give them. But, there's other companies that might actually just look at it and be like, well, he's got a decent following, but if his shots are not being seen, why the hell would we deal with them? So I worry about analytics to that extent, but most of the time I'm trying to bring myself back to, enjoying what I do most of all, which is why I posted 3 Atticus Doom shots. I just really love the figure.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So you're also a brand ambassador for Loom Cube, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I hit them up and they just shut me down.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
What did they say?
I think I had like 3,000 followers at the time, and I wasn't really active on YouTube, and I guess they didn't feel like I was big enough, just to mess with. So even though that's pretty much the only lights I use is Loom Cube, and I tag them in every post that's who I'm using. But
well, listen, just keep going. I'll tell you this like this because they shut me down. But then after the Mario shot hit big on TikTok, I was able to rewrite to them and reapply and say, hey, look, now I've got this. Does this work? And I got a message back 20 minutes later. And they said, hey, yeah, that'd be great. Let's work together and all that stuff. So it's just one of those things that sometimes you hit a little something and it might work out, So just keep at it, man. I'm pretty sure that right now, it's probably because they have a bunch of toy photographers, but there's going to be a spot open at some point. That's for sure. You never know. People might go off and on different brands and all that, but yep.
Yeah, I need to get one of the panel pros because I invested into the panel minis because I was like,
yeah, those are cool.
Those, that seem really cool, but they're not making any peripherals for that, which is pissing me off. I'm like, I want barn doors, I want a grid, I want this stuff, and you're doing it for the pro, and I already bought 4 of your minis. I don't need a pro right now.
Yeah,
make some damn accessories, please.
Yeah. The minis are really cool, but yeah, I agree with you that there's no accessories for them. I think that they're mostly designed for on camera. So somebody who's going to be doing live streams and things like that, they could just prop one of those on and it'll last for a decent amount of time because they don't have to boost the lighting specs all the way up.
Yeah, it's possible. I had asked them at some point. I was like, "Are you guys going to make these?" And we'll just stay tuned. Like companies do. Just stay tuned. Stay on the hook. We'll get to you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. For what it's worth, though, they're really kind. I've had a great time with them. So, like I said, just keep doing it, man, and eventually, it'll be all right.
Carlito apparently, he says he's mainly 1.6 as well. But he caved into the Mezco 112 and noticed a lot of toy photographers gravitate to 112, and that's your preference, right? Because he's asking if that was your preference.
Yeah. Listen. I see a lot of the 1/6 scale figures, and they look amazing. And then I have to weigh that against how much I love my wife and how much I want to stay in this relationship. So right now, as of yet, there's 2 figures the two hot toys that I was like, the bank robber Joker, that one I almost got way back when, and there was also the Mandalorian that they put out. He just looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, he does.
But I said to myself, listen, I can't open that door because I feel that once you do, there's no coming back. It's just one of those things where you're like, I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get that one. I need 56 Iron Mans. They all have different colors. That looks awesome. Exactly. My wife just walked by and she just gave me a thumbs down. The thumbs down is usually symbolic of you're going to be sleeping in the car with all your toys.
Yeah.
So that's basically the thing. 112, she's kind of okay with when she doesn't see my bank statements and shit. But when if the 1/6 starts showing up, she'll be like, "What are you doing? These are bigger than Barbie size. These are dolls now, Jason. They're not toys anymore." So,
well, the Mandalorian did get me to start pre-ordering Star Wars figures because up until that point, I was just buying stuff that was already put out, so I wasn't trapped in that cycle that you end up in. I bought Predators, I bought Aliens, I bought RoboCop and Terminator, and I was like, I'm good. And then that show, The Mandalorian, comes out. I'm like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. And then I go into my local shop, which is the shop that I was working at, and they had one on the shelf. And I was like, you bastards.
I avoid the shops like the plague now, man. I don't go to stores because I know that once I go to stores, like if I hit up Toys R Us or any collector store here, there's always one guy who knows who I am and he's like, hey, man, we got this thing in. And I'm like, go away. Just leave me alone. I'm here to pick up a comic book that I haven't read.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So back to the picture here. So you're running here at 5-second shutter speed, 3.5 second or 3.5 f3.5.
Yep.
And then 100 ISO on this. So what's the minimal or what's the largest aperture that particular lens can do? Is it 3.5 to give you the most open aperture?
Oh no, it goes down to 1.8.
The Nifty 50 goes down to 1.8, or is that the 22?
No, Nifty 50 goes down to 1.8.
Okay.
But the thing is that the image becomes fuzzy. So I tend to stay above 2.5 normally.
Okay.
Because that way you're going to kind of get it sharp. And it's just weird because like what I noticed when I was trying out the 24 is that you can get like really sharp results. Whereas the 50, for some reason, sometimes like when you're looking at it in the viewfinder, you're like, well, this still seems a little fuzzy. Then when you import it into Lightroom or something like that, you're like, oh no, it's actually quite clear. That's really cool. You know, finding that zone is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I had the same problem with the one because I got the 100 millimeter macro as well. Because again, you know, Sergeant Bananas, he was talking about he shot it on 90, and Canon didn't have a 90 in the Adam Savage one. So I was like, let's do 100 then. And I'm shooting on that thing, and you know, it's a macro. I'm like way in there, and I'm getting this close up shot, but it's all like all the angles and stuff just weren't crisp. It was like just I was like, what's going on here? You know, it was just crazy. So I never use that. I got the 100 millimeter macro lens, and I never use it. I barely pull that thing out.
You're the first one to agree with me because I tried it. It was cool because here there's a local shop that once a lens gets to a certain price range, you can rent it, so you can try it out before you're making your investment. And so I figured, oh, I'd love to be able to try the 35. Couldn't rent that because it's not pricey enough, and I wanted to rent 60. It's not pricey enough. But for the 100, I could actually rent it on the Friday, and I could bring it back on the Monday because usually it's just 1 day rental. But because it was the weekend, they gave me the 4 days as 1 day. So I ended up trying it out, and I didn't have any fun with it. You know, the camera kept shutting down for some reason, so I had to turn it back on. So it was always bugging my setup and all that stuff. And even just trying to get that focus, I was like, I thought there was going to be, you know, crisper than this and much more fun to deal with. And so I just refused to get the 100. I just don't like it at all.
Yeah, I made the mistake of actually buying it. So, you know, I didn't because I don't have any shops near me. The nearest shop is an hour away, and it's in downtown Atlanta. So, hell, if I want to deal with that, you know, that kind of stuff, there's nothing out in the burbs where I'm at where I can easily get to. So, you know, I just, you know, I kind of you know, figured it out like, you know, like I do with my movies, you know, because I buy movies. Even if I haven't seen a movie, I'll just buy the movie if I think I'm going to like it. Granted, G.I. Joe didn't pan out, but usually I do pretty well. Usually I'm like, okay, I enjoyed that, you know, but yeah, G.I. Joe was one of the big misses in that lifestyle choice. But
what does Harry use?
I'm using a Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Actually, it's a little bit unconventional. It's a film camera, or cinema camera, so it's not really meant for photography. So this is my little setup right here. That's what. So
when you film and you take a frame?
So basically, I'm recording as I would, you know, with a film or a short video, and then I will pick out the frames that I like, and I'll pick, and I'll choose that one. And that's my method. That
is so cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit unconventional, but it allows me to color grade and edit how I would, you know, with the movie. And that's how I get that.
That's the way you get your look, motherfucker, man. That's awesome.
Yep. It's like literally how, they shoot film.
Because I wasn't following you, and then when I tuned in to watch Trevor and all that stuff, and I was like, I don't know what this guy is. And so then I checked out your work, and I was like, how the hell is he doing this? Do you shoot 1/6 as well?
Yep, everything is 1/6. Everything's
God
not total.
Damn it! And you have a Wolverine figure that I'm just like, where did they? I want that. There's no way. Like I'm not
Right?
the biggest Wolverine fan, but that one looks
Mm.
amazing. So
Yeah, it's
man,
it's like
you're like
the most.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
both of
go
your
ahead.
work, by the way. You
Oh,
know,
thank you,
so I
thank
just
you.
want to point
Yeah,
that. But like Harry, I just discovered
likewise.
recently. I think Moz, we talked a little bit before and all that stuff. And so
Yeah, I think I had a few questions for you before. So
yeah, but man, but that's it. And like I remember seeing Harry's stuff, and I was like, why the fuck are people following me? you should just be taking lessons from Harry and Moz. You know, I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
mine's a
shoot
little.
plunderlings
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, mine's a little niche. I think it's like very cinematic. It's like everything
It's
is just
awesome,
like
man.
cinematic style. Oh, thank you.
Oh no,
Thank
it's
you.
so cool. I love it. Look at that shit. That's
that's my Wolverine, and
that one looks amazing.
This glare, he taught me how to do this. Harry taught me how to do this with After Effects.
I can't use that. I don't even understand how to use After Effects.
Ooh,
yeah, it's a little complicated.
I love the lighting on that one. That one's amazing.
Yeah.
That Batman shot. Look at that.
Yeah,
but that's the wallpaper. That in post.
Yeah, this is in post with After Effects, and the cool thing is if you get the plugin with After Effects, you can pull out each individual little point of that reflection, that
full control over.
So like you can pull out each one of those little pinpoint lines that come through it and all that stuff.
Oh my
it's just
God.
crazy the control you can have. But
you guys give classes? I need classes in this shit. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
YouTube. Talk with him.
YouTube. All right, cool. All right, I'll check it out because that's it. I have the Photoshop. I don't think After Effects comes with my plan. I'd have to maybe shell out for that. But anyway, but that look at the lighting on that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this shot is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the wallpaper that he was talking about.
Yeah, that's
earlier.
the wallpaper, but the wallpaper had to, of course, be cropped in a little bit because it, widescreens.
So good.
But yeah, all that's hand built. I built all of the props there.
Yeah, which is insane.
Oh man, I have to have more patience. I'm trying to build a rock wall right now, and I'm just like, ugh.
I know how that is. I just got done doing
a brick one.
But yeah, this Batman is my favorite Batman. It's a 1/6 scale custom of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Batman, and I have the Mezco Dark Knight one, the blue costume with the thigh holster or the thigh belt. That's the one I could get a hold of.
I want. If ever you guys want to, I'd like to trade prints with you guys. I'd send you each one, and I'd like a copy of that Batman.
Yeah,
I'd like to choose like a nice
Wolverine
of Harry's if ever Harry wants to print out something.
Yeah, I actually don't print out any frames or any prints at all. So.
Why? Because you don't want to, or because?
I don't know. I just don't think it's worthy of being printed, and also I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here! Come on now, really? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just when you look at your own work,
worthy. And I'll show you. It looks like a fucking movie. It's amazing shit. My girlfriend's gonna be like, "Why are you even into photography?"
Thank you so much.
I'm a fan of the medium, and when I see people push it to the extremes that you guys do, it makes me, I don't know, man. It fills me up with joy just watching other people like perform on levels that I'm like, first of all, that I'd love to achieve, but that I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a movie I'd love to see. Why didn't I see this in a movie? Why aren't there people like these guys working in film right now where I could actually have fun watching something cool?
That's exactly why I do this. It's like, hey, how do I create my own world with my own stories, with my own characters?
Right.
Here you go, toys. I can do whatever I want. And that's the reason why I got into toy photography.
So good,
unless you can't get those good Spider-Man poses because the figure's limited that way. Damn it.
Yeah, that's the one problem with
that
1/6
pisses
scale.
me off. I'm like, Spider-Man is doing a crouch.
Batgirl, that's the most recent one you put up.
He put
that's
up
the most recent shot that I did. Today.
Yeah, I saw a Batman one where you were showing the layers. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, I do that a lot sometimes. Just to show, like, hey, how do I edit this? And
where's that Wolverine? Like that Batman right there. That one there.
Yeah.
That looks
like
cool.
the BTS shots that
Was this one here? You were doing. I know you had a video of the layers.
So.
Yeah, that's
I have like the BTS. Yeah. So, there you go. So like,
so you using a monitor or a screen?
I'm using a monitor. Yes.
Monitor, okay, instead of a TV, because that's it. Sometimes
just my TV. Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
But he gets the background a lot from Cyberpunk, apparently, on the PlayStation.
Yep, Cyberpunk is a great tool for backgrounds.
All right, I know.
Surprisingly, yep. Yeah, and then just
Look at
with glares and
See, that I don't
whatnot
even
on the screens
understand.
after.
That to me, I thought that was directly from a film, but no, those are 1/6 scale
The
figures.
only thing that gives it away is the way he did his blur. It's
Yeah, the blur
very
is a little bit
cut here.
too jarring there. Yeah.
You can see the differences in the blur right here.
Yeah, but in the middle of an action scene, that'll happen. So to me, it works perfectly.
Oh, I love it. The Spider-Man is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
that
Spider-Man
pose I got him in was actually pretty good.
Mm.
But then the next shot though by Jojo-man, oh my god, that guy's insane.
That I don't even understand. Like
Yeah,
those aren't
this guy
toys.
is crazy.
No,
That
Hot
is
Toys.
nuts. That's crazy.
See, show your wife
Yeah,
this,
this
and
guy's
she'll let you
insane.
buy Hot Toys. You'd be like, "Look what I can do if I had
Yeah.
Hot Toys."
No, she will not.
Yeah.
She's like, I like being married.
Guarantee.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, she will not. First of all, she knows what my Photoshop skills are, and she was like, "You'll never achieve that." And not that she's trying to crush my dreams; she's just trying to make sure that I'm
Yeah, I was
saving
gonna
for the
say.
house.
Well, your skills look better than mine. That's for damn sure. When it comes to that stuff.
I look at that right there. That one with the Wolverine. Look at that. Look at that figure. He's so cool.
That's the Hot Toys Last Stand Wolverine,
Wolverine,
right?
That's the Days of Future Past Wolverine with the third-party head sculpt.
So you see it at the end of the film, and you're like, okay, why didn't he put that on in the movie?
That's exactly why I got this. I'm like, why in the hell do we not have a classic Wolverine on the big screen?
Well, that's not
you know what? I just make it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got that classic-ish style.
No, I'm pulling up my classic right now, man. This is the classic Wolverine. I gotta give him the love again.
Okay, all right.
I'll give you that.
I'll give you that.
There he is. That's my classic. There's the classic. That's what I grew up on.
That grin is amazing. It's like
that's what he comes with. He comes with that and a masked one, and this is the unmasked. And then the cigar is a third-party little prop I got. So
very cool.
And
I wonder who they're going to choose for the next movies.
I don't know. Talk of Daniel Radcliffe.
I think he should come back. I
don't want that. It's going to be hard for me to get into.
Should come back.
Nah.
Time.
We need a short, stubby, savage guy.
That's true. We do need that.
It'd be fun, like if Danny DeVito. No, I'm kidding.
Danny DeVito over here. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know who can play.
No.
It's got to be no-name character, the same way Hugh Jackman when he came in. There has to be no name.
Yeah, that's true.
What's up, Exotic Carfax? How you doing today?
They've been doing that a little bit. Yeah, the last few characters, like Chadwick Boseman. Nobody knew who he was really.
Nope. That's it. Yeah. That's what's cool. Is because you get to launch into.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Like, what's up, Fat Gadget? How you doing today? So this was my original shot I posted on Instagram, but after talking to people on the stream, they were like, "You should have made it black and white." So there's
that looks white really good black and white like that.
I probably should repost this one as black and white.
Why? I mean, don't get me wrong; it looks great, but the original shot's fine.
Yeah, I like both. But this one, the black and white is just a bit.
It looks like straight out of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a bit clearer, but yeah,
it's got a higher contrast on it.
Yeah,
with that old grungy.
But I still like that. I mean, to me, the lighting works there too. So. That one's cool.
That's my quarter scale, man.
Quarter scale? Oh my god!
I traded some Funko Pops in and just got him for free. Well, for the
what?
Quarter scale?
Yes, he's huge.
Man.
Oh man, no.
That's the only way we can get the E-Web cannon. I was like, I kind of want that, but I'm not going to pay $700 for the figure. I'm just gonna, What's up, 6 Scale Mafia? How you doing? He likes the black and white Nosferatu.
Because the movie is black and white.
Yeah.
It's actually sepia, isn't it?
Well, it's
no. I mean the movie.
I haven't seen the movie in forever. I couldn't tell you what it is now, but
I thought it was black and white.
Then
Ripley,
Hot Toys Ripley.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's really hard to get her face to come out right. I mean, at certain angles, you can kind of get her likeness, but in others, even though it's a $200 smut, or on the aftermarket is $800, but even though it's her, right? But it's really hard to get that likeness to shine through, and I think I kind of got it there.
She's kind
of like your rim lighting on the back there. That looks good.
Yeah, and the way I got her arm to tuck in here is actually I took her hand off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you do that?
I love those tricks, man. That's awesome.
It took the hand off. It's just a peg. So
very cool.
And then this is when I just got my Bronx figure, So I took this shot, and I was going to post this on Monday, but then I finished my diorama, and I did it this way. So I had the lighting coming in from the window here and the window here, and there's a bounce card on this side, which makes it look like another window, which lights them up. So there's really just 2 lights going on this whole shot.
Wow. I tend to overlight. I like that.
Uncommon Flex, man, thank you so much for becoming a member, dude. I appreciate it. This month you're going to get one of Harry's wallpapers. We're going to be picking up the poll and figure out which picture you guys want to choose from for that. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. H Green. Oh, wait. Oh, they're saying hi. Okay. 6 scale Padawan. Yes, removing the hand, dude. It's something I was sitting there going, man, I really want to get. Let's go back to her. I really want to get that flush because it was just bulging out too much with the hand attached there, and it was causing it not to look as natural. And just pulled off that hand, and it just all came into it, right?
Yeah, that looks great.
I want to move back to my gargoyles real quick. So yeah, I finished the diorama. I did this shot, and this is all blue lights. I got a little bit of white light with this blue on this left side, just to give it a little bit of a cut, so it's not so. If you use all like a one tone, it just gets kind of muddy. I just wanted to cut it with a little bit with some white, and then. But the shot that I built the diorama for, the one that I really wanted to shoot,
one you posted today, right?
Yes, this is why I built the diorama.
That's good.
This is the shot that didn't make it though. This was the first shot, and then I did this shot to see the angle a little different.
Yeah, I love this.
And I didn't post this one either. This is the one that got posted. And what I did is actually in Photoshop.
Yeah.
I started turning his arm into stone here.
Oh, look at that! I hadn't even noticed that. Fucking Photoshop. Sorry, Instagram, not Photoshop.
It's hard to see. I was
he's burning, right?
Yeah. Say again?
He's burning, right? Nosferatu?
Yeah, I added a little smoke to him. Yeah, just a little bit of smoke around with the lights. Yep. The gargoyles turned to stone in the daytime, so I was like, I want him turning to stone, the arm that's holding Nosferatu, so he can't get away. You know, he's now trapped, regardless of how much
that's
fights.
Great. Good storytelling there, man.
Sick shot.
Yep.
But yeah, I built the diorama just because I had this shot in my head and I wanted to get it out. I was like, I gotta do it. So, very cool. And I did some video behind the scenes, but we'll get back to that later. I wasn't trying to go into my stuff now.
No, I'm fine, man. I'd rather talk about your stuff.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. I'm gonna have to find some more uses though, because that was a good week or so of making those walls. I'm gonna have to.
Your patience is amazing.
Very time consuming.
This is the end result. These are the walls. I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick since we were talking about it. So here's the walls, and I had to make a modular because when I first went Goliath there. But as I first was building it, I realized this wall wasn't long enough for his wings to not impact the back wall. So I was like, need to make the wall longer. So I built this little extra piece here, and so when it all goes together.
It's basically seamless. Like that's really good.
Well, it lets in a little bit of light, but it goes all together.
A little bit, yeah.
So I had to Photoshop out the light that it lets in as well.
That looks so good.
Just goes right in there like that. Oh man, thank you, Duckinator. Appreciate it. And thank you as well, Uncommon Flex. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's move on to you guys. I want to talk about you guys. I got Jason B. Michael here, man. We got to talk about him.
The master.
I'm here every time.
Oh, no.
I'm always here. He's not always here. So we're going to go back to his stuff here. Even though we love Harry stuff. Guys, Harry, what I want you to do, what you can, please, is make a list of the shots we're going to go over sometime when you get some free time.
Okay.
That we're going to put in the poll.
Just send them over to you. Yeah, for sure.
What was this one is a joint one that you did with some of the other guys, right? Oh, I gotta share it. Hold on, I forgot to share. There we go.
Oh, that
one here. Wasn't this a joint? I saw a lot of people do the same character.
No, I mean I do collabs every now and then, but I do it like with Sean. Canary, so visual approach photography. I did a few with Niels Van Riel and all that stuff, but I tend to stay in my lane when it comes to that shit. But no, that one's just mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that. It was so much fun to create that shot because as soon as I saw that the eye could come out of the brain, I was also reading like the comic book and the comic book that comes with the figure when he's meeting Cthulhu. I think that he tears him apart and then he has to reassemble himself. And then there's that eye that's just popping out. And I was like, oh man, wouldn't that be cool if he could be in like some weird state of trance where the eye just comes and pops out of his head all over again. And he can like have this all seeing eye. And so I don't know. I just had so much fun kind of creating the little, like I used, you know, sometimes they come, they have these wires that come with figures when they attach them inside, like the characters and all that stuff. So what I did is I just like, I think I had a Mythic Legions Mossman box just lying around and one of the wires was in there. So I kind of used that or something to just hold up the eye. And what I did after that is when I erased everything, I just kind of placed them where I wanted them when I wanted them in Photoshop. So I could have that nice like, triangular. Yep.
And did you build out that background too, or did it?
Yeah, I created that background.
Oh, you built that?
Back. Okay. Yeah, wow. A while back. I did it like anybody who knows my work just a little bit. Notice that my first Atticus Doom shot, the one prior to this, was just a remake of my Spawn shot. There you go. I added the picture. That's where I got the idea of the all-seeing eye. So I was putting it back together, and I was like, that would be cool. Maybe I could make a shot with that.
So cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
That one I had so much fun. A lot of people have been doing him levitating, but I was like, have him levitating and going nuts at the same time. Let's do this.
Dude, where are all these little things from, man? Like the tentacles and stuff? Does he come with those tentacles? Or you said it's part of a Cthulhu?
Those actually come with the figure. And then after that, what I did is I moved them around and then layered them in Photoshop.
Awesome. And I need to take a page out of your book here for getting that ceiling lighting, man. Use some plexiglass like that or something, because I'm still trying to work that out.
My father built a rig for me, so that I can actually just put like this ruler that he gave me, made of plexiglass, and I could just put a light up there, and I'll just have this overlight instead of just getting myself a giant, softbox or something like that. I just use, the little Lumcube mini panel. I know, mini. Yeah. That one was fun. I have to make a wall though eventually with a window like yours, because I have that. I ripped. That was a wall that a buddy of mine had made for me on the other side. There was a window in it that made no sense. It's too big. And then I ripped that broken window out of an old Spawn figure that I had that came with a diorama. People were like, you're not supposed to be doing that. That's worth money. And I was like, it's not worth money. It's worth, I need it for that. So I'm doing that.
You need a broken window. Yeah. But the problem, at least in that there, let me go back. So you lose that. Yeah, you kind of lose the broken window entirely here, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't like it's because I don't know what to put in the background, so I just blast the light through there.
Well, it does solve the problem of bringing them out from the background. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just getting that rim light kind of deal. Let's see if there's any other. I wasn't to see if there was any other. Dude, I love these little. Look at this.
I love. There's a comment in one of the pictures. There's I think he's with Doc Nocturnal, so I put the head, Doc Nocturnal's head, as a reference in the background there. The book that he's holding on the left-hand side is going to be the book from Pan's Labyrinth, the one that comes with Ophelia. And I also put the Ninja Turtles in there, Mr. Miyagi's bonsai tree. And one of the guys spotted that I put a Coke bottle in there. And he says, I love the fact that Atticus would have a Coke bottle lying around.
Dude, I'm now a diabetic probably because I drank too much Coke growing up, like all the time. So of course I still have a love for Coke, even though it's killing me.
Right.
And I miss having Coke all the time. I'm now drinking my Diet Mountain Dew. That's my diabetic choice for solving my intakes. But
other Easter eggs.
Look at this.
Mysterio's helmets there.
What do you think of this little tripod? These, because I have like the Joby one here on the left, but what I don't like about it is when you're trying to get some of those bins, you sometimes just unsnap it because the balls will unhook.
I don't particularly enjoy Joby. I thought it was cool because I remember when I first started out, Sir Dork had one, and I figured that's what I need to get. But then one of my legs is loose, and then the thing snaps out, and it's very hard to get them all back straight again, and all that stuff. And that was just very, very frustrating. So I got a $15 one, and I think the top part snapped off. So I just put, super glue in there, and it's fine now. So yeah, it's totally fine. It works well.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I kind of feel bad for paid $60 or $70 for Joby.
I still have my Joby. Did you see what Trevor's using? Just the clip on the desk, goosenecks.
Those are awesome. I don't know where to get them though. That's the thing.
He's got them on his page. You can go on his page, and he's got an affiliated link on his Amazon where it takes you straight to him. I bought 2 of them, and I love them. They're great.
That's awesome. I'd love to use that. Save some space too.
Oh, let me fix this real quick. That's a good call there. 6Scale Mafia hit me up. He's like, "Who's all in your stream?" And I was like, "Oh, I turned off the thing because I was doing some other stuff with the display names earlier." So there you go. That should have. There you go. There you go, 6Scale Mafia. Good looking out. I was recording footage for something else, and I use StreamYard now to do that because it's a lot easier than trying to pull it off the camera and all that other craps. Because it'll save each thing I send to StreamYard. So I took the name tags off because I didn't need that on what I was doing. I hear.
Yeah, so that was a pretty intense setup. It took me a while to get that shot, to be honest. Lighting was too much and all that stuff because I tend to overlight, but at the same time, I really wanted to have like a fire on one side to be lit completely orange, and then the green on the other side with the orb, whatever, to be lit that way as well. So it was a pretty grueling one. I remember it was a Saturday morning, and I told Leslie, I said, "Hey, I think I'm just gonna work a little bit, and then I'm gonna set up." And I did that on my kitchen table, which I normally never do. I just pull out my a gray table that I have, set myself up in front of the TV. But I figured, I'll just use the walls.
Did you really have your shutter speed of 15 seconds on this shot?
That's awesome. It's 1.5, wouldn't it be?
I don't see a point. I see 1.5. I don't see that point. I'm looking for it.
Let me check.
This is 4.5 f4.5, and it looks like 15 seconds. I mean, if it is, it's no problem. I mean, it just that's what you have to do that if you don't want to bring the ISO up sometimes. And we're on a tripod.
Yeah, 4.5. It says 15, but I don't think I did that. It's a bit nuts. So that's 15, man.
Yeah.
But 15's all right. Okay, no, but 15. It's not 15 seconds. It's going to be 1:15.
Oh, okay. So that'd be 1.5.
It's going to be 1 over 15 in this.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 over 15.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So it's not super fast, but it's not slow either. 15 seconds. That's a long exposure.
15 seconds.
My cat would meow and it would shake the camera as well, so I would never get the shot. Yeah, so that's a replica of my Spawn shot.
Okay. So I love this cobblestone back wall. You said you made one of these?
Yeah, I made that. I used some walls that a buddy of mine had made for me, and then I just basically turned them around. I needed extra walls, so now they're double-sided.
I need some cobblestone walls, man. I tried to make some, and my OCD won't let me complete the task. It's like these circles aren't right, and they're all the same kind of circle, and you're not varied enough, and my OCD is just like, stop.
Oh, man. You know how that didn't take me long at all. Just go this here. Make rocks. Just make rocks. Yeah. That's all I did and then at one point it was like, oh, this rock is square. Yep, that happens. So it's just chaos, man.
Are you using like a foam burner kind of thing to make the launch?
Use a screwdriver a screwdriver and what else did I use? A pencil.
Just something to kind of cut into the foam then. Because I used to make the brick here. I used one of those wood cutting, or not wood cutting,
really?
But
okay.
The stuff you can find in the woodworking section in your hobby store to kind of engrave on it and stuff. It's kind of like a soldering iron.
Too.
Yeah, my mom used that on my back when I was a kid. No, I'm kidding. But no, my mom used to use that on we had these. My dad used to like to work on wood and stuff like that. My mom used to write a few things. I know exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, man, you'd have fun making that stuff. It's just so easy. Just let the OCD go and tell yourself rocks are fine. Rocks are fine. You don't need bricks.
Yeah. Well, I went with bricks, even though it's supposed to be like a Gothic church, because bricks I could make work in my head with the.
Right. But I had fun with that one because I really wanted that. Like the figure comes with this where he opens a portal with his hand, and you can actually reattach it someplace else. And I think that is so cool. Which a great idea. I wish he came in with both hands. So I was thinking of picking up a second figure just so I can get that extra portal.
So cool.
This is awesome.
A scene
what do you got there on the floor for the texture for your ground there? Just some black sand, kind of like this stuff?
I use tea.
I'm sorry?
I use tea.
Yeah. Interesting.
I use tea. So basically what I'll do is, in order to create that little bit of a dust, I remember watching Jordan from Euler's workshop. In order to get some of the debris that he has in his outdoor diorama scenes, he would actually use tea leaves from different types of colors. And so my mom, when she visits me, she likes to have red rose tea. That's not a plug, but I don't drink tea. So while she's away, I just have, debris that I can use. And I just grab some tea. Sometimes I'll have a green tea or orange tea or something like that somewhere in there. And I'll just kind of sprinkle that, because what it does is it creates like an uneven surface, and then the light will reflect on it in a certain way, and it gives it a little bit more texture.
Yeah, it looks very much like a street here, right here. I mean, I love it. It looks got the great texture there.
Yeah, because just the foam itself, like from what I can see, is very reflective, and I don't like that. So I have to kind of break that a little bit.
Well, what Desi from Metamorphic Customs suggested was to use cork. You can get like cork boards and paint on top of that to get the street texture. But then I did one step more, and I added this. My wife had these bottles of black sand.
That's what I did too.
That's awesome.
What I did too.
And I put this mixture with it, and it gave it a little bit more texture to it.
I did too.
Very cool. I should check that out. Cool.
But I like your tea leaves, man. It's actually looking.
Yeah, that works too.
Really well too.
And plus, I mean, in a dungeon type, setting, you're going to have so much, random crap lying around on the floor, whether it's going to be hay, whether it's going to be rocks or gravel or something like that. So I feel that with that type of texture, it kind of takes everything into consideration.
I love your fire too. You made that effect look more surreal. Like I know you use a plasticky prop, but what'd you do? You added some more.
Oh yeah, Photoshop after that, because the prop looked like crap. I used when I decided to create that one, I was like, oh, I have Scorpion from Storm Collectibles, so I'm going to use one of the skeletons that I have from Storm, but I'm just going to take the head off and put Scorpion's burning head on, and then use the flames that come with Scorpion to kind of create that fire effect. But when I saw it in camera, it looked okay, and when I brought it in post, it looked okay, but it didn't give me like that suffering burn that should be like, so I decided to create that in just by using like
suffering enough.
No, exactly. I want that skeleton to pop just like in Terminator 2 on the fence.
Well, what I would have done is find a fire texture, much like I did with Goliath's arm, with that stone.
Right.
Just find that texture and then clip it into, you of course want to, select just this fire and clip it into that as a new layer.
See, you know how to do that. I don't.
Well, I don't know if I know how to do it. I just know that I think my stone arm looked okay.
No, it looked great, man. But that's I like I said, my skills, like what I try most of the time, I'd say that most of my shots are 80-20, 80 in camera, 20 in Photoshop. And it really depends on the shot. Like this one, maybe a little bit more, I'd say is like 30-35%, when it comes to me just kind of adding, fire effect and maybe adding a little bit of smoke around the green portals and things like that. But I try to keep it, as in camera as much as possible, because I'm like editing is such a, it's difficult for me because I don't have all the skills. I'm pretty sure that if I were to show someone who knows Photoshop quite well, he'd be like, how the fuck is this even organized? I have no idea what you're doing here. What's this? Who's that? What does this go? What is this affected by?
So I want to show you what I did here, real quick. I did this several different ways. So As you see here, I got just I selected just his arm. That's just an arm selection here.
Is it a pen tool or?
Well, you got in Photoshop. You have this quick selection tool, and I just kind of drew it out there.
Wow.
So I selected his arm from the background layer. Just let me just. So here's the background layer, right? So I ran the selection tool just over, some of this, like that, and then there's several ways you can do it from here. You can make a mask of it, which I didn't do. I just copied. Once I did the selection, I copied it and pasted it as a new layer, and this is pretty much how I had my selection. Once I did that, I had this new layer here, which I have the opacity changed on this to 83%. Let's set that up to 100 real quick. So there's the layer, right? That's what I did with it. We'll put that back to 83. So I have, this here, and then I went and I found a stone texture that I liked, and I clipped it to the layer that I just made a new layer of. So, to clip stuff, you basically, you just add the layer, throw it on top of the other layer, in sequence here, and then hold your Alt key here, and see, this would unclip it. But you see this little icon that popped up here, this little down arrow icon? That means it's going to clip it, although it's got the slash through it because it's already clipped. It's going to unclip it, but you hold the Alt key and you do that, and it'll clip it. So this texture will only affect the selected area. So, even though if I unclip it, we'll unclip it real quick. See how it's all over the place now? Over the whole picture? All that. I reclip it. Boom.
Hey,
it's just his arm.
Moz is teaching me magic. That is awesome, man. I had no idea we could do that. And that's the thing. It's I have no idea just how much the app can do. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, Photoshop,
that's pretty cool.
It's daunting for sure. So many tips and tricks.
You just got to be willing to play around with it. Because, like I showed you when I showed you the progression of shots, I didn't initially do this. This is something I was like, man, that'd just be really cool if I can pull it off. Let me see. And you notice the other shot had my signature on it. It didn't have the stone arm, but it had my signature already on it because I was prepared to be that. That's the one I'm posting.
Right.
I just duplicated it, and let me go back a step and play with his arm. And in fact, there's some other parts here you can see that I didn't even use. They're just still in here.
I do that too. I was like, I don't like that anymore. Just turn it.
So I just deselected them and just what is this layer here? I don't even know what this layer is. Let me see what this layer is. This is the other arm. I tried to do it to this arm too, but there's so much light bouncing off of it. It wasn't working. See, there's that clip on there. You can't even see it. So I just threw it out. Which is why it's layered like that. But once you got it clipped in there, though, you get to play with some of the other stuff. So I clipped it on here. I changed the type of
blend.
The blend
mode. Yeah.
So I went with overlay. It gave me the best look that I was going for. And apparently I didn't play with that opacity, but you can play with the layer opacity itself, which is what I did, and brought it down a little bit. So if I brought this back up to 100%, it's just it's actually not bad either, but I think no, actually
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. This line here, which is annoying me to death, is actually there in the raw shot, so I just left it there. But it looks like this is the one thing that showed me that Photoshop thing. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. Yes, I love this little Goliath guy, man. Just on a whim, I bought this guy. I was like, you know what? I love this show. So I did it. But so then the next thing I did is I added the smoke. So let's go back to that real quick. The smoke was, again, you just find some. Where is the smoke? Oh, it's in a whole different file, isn't it? Yeah, because I had already had the smoke added. So with the smoke, though, let me open this real quick here. Pictures. No, they're on a whole different. They're on a whole nother drive. That's right. Let's see, effects, and then I have a whole bunch of different effects. Where is the smoke? Somebody see smoke? There we go. Smoke effects.
Oh, Chris is here. Hey, man.
Oh, that's the wrong folks. What's Optimus Crime? How you doing? Is that Chris? Is that your Chris?
Yep.
All right, rock on. How
Hello,
you doing?
Canadian. He's just such a good guy. I just bought a Batman off to him this week. Very kind.
Oh, cool.
Dude,
I have to get some figures out to him too, but I don't know what he said.
Oh, there we go. Is that? Yeah, that's what I want. So I have all these smokes on black, right? So I think this is one I might have used here, and you just drag it into the shot, and yeah, so it's
Yeah,
there.
I do that. I do that with the screen, and that's awesome.
Yeah. If you set it to screen or whatever.
But then I can't adjust it. Like my fire, for some reason, like it when the screen mode itself is too bright in the background. I remember Sean telling me, he says, you can adjust the levels, and I still can't get it like in the way that I actually really like.
Levels is tricky.
Curves is what you want to use.
Curves or levels. You can go to adjustments, go to curves, and like we're gonna do the smoke here, and you can plainly see that smoke still there, but you just kind of play with it.
And play with also the as well.
Since you can also exactly. So you double click on this guy on your smoke. Oh, come on, why are you? Oh, it's over on this side.
Taking notes.
So what happens when you have multiple monitors?
You can over there.
Oh yeah,
hold your. So this is your key one here, underlying layer. You hold your Alt key and you can pull. Let me move this over. So we can see what I'm doing here. This is what we're affecting. We're going to hold the Alt key and we're going to separate this little arrow guy and see what's happening to that layer. See how it's kind of
take out the dark.
It's just kind of really helping it blend more in with the layers behind it, not just this layer. So it doesn't really work there. I just canceled it. But see how we got this line here, though? What we can do is
I just create a layer mask and I erase it out.
Yeah, exactly. You could create a layer mask and get your brush and just kind of clean that up, which is also what I did to Goliath on the arm here. So I had this texture, right, and I did a layer mask on the texture layer, and I just kind of roughened this up a little bit so it didn't look so, so squared off from the selection tool. So just kind of dug into it a little bit.
That's even really cool.
Can't really see all the lines, but I did some lines here, just unfortunately Instagram ruins all the quality.
Yeah.
For a photo app, right? It's so weird that on Twitter they have 4K and on Instagram they do not. It's so weird.
That is really true.
But but that's some of the stuff that I did to it. What's up, Eddie Rodriguez? Let's give a shout out to JC as well.
Thank you,
JC. Thank you. Optimus Prime, of course, thank you. And Eddie Rodriguez. Thank you.
Good evening, Eddie.
I appreciate it.
I'll be sure to check out those tricks. Those are awesome.
And if you have any questions, I'll try to help you with it. I'm not the best at Photoshop, but I've struggled through it.
So far, I noticed that you are better than me.
You just got to play with it, man. You just got to. Even though your mom tells you not to, you just got to play with it.
It's just time, man. Sometimes I just sit there and it's just time. I love being able to set up, go inside that little world. But once I have to bring it into Lightroom and then into Photoshop, that's when I start losing.
Yeah, I juggle between Lightroom and Photoshop the whole time. I'm like,
my patience starts to dwindle fast. I was like, I want a result. I want to move on to something else in my day.
Yes, so. I've been through that. At certain times, particularly when I'm putting together the dioramas. I'm like, take a picture, man.
I tell my wife, I say, hey, I'm gonna just shoot this morning, and then she kind of just gives me a like, and then by 5 o'clock, in the evening, I'm still kind of fucking around with the shot, and I'm like, shit. And she was like, why didn't you tell me just this morning? Just say, hey, I'm shooting today. Just make sure the cats don't meow too much.
I can't shoot during the day. I have to shoot at night because my area is right near the front door, which has got windows to the left and right of it.
Right.
And so light that I can't control is coming in.
Oh, I use that
right near where I'm shooting. So usually I wait till evening and like, okay.
Yeah, that's a fun one because the Mando shot with the phone booth that I did. I opened up my curtains. And I was like, hey, if I adjust the lighting, it might actually work because that's my television in the background. If you scroll, and this is a secret.
That's indoors.
That's in my living room, and that's in camera.
That's crazy.
Do you want to laugh? I set up a Lume Cube light on the side just so that I could tag them, but I actually turned it off the shot.
What's up, Trevor? How you doing, man?
Hey, Trevor's in the building.
I need to talk to Trevor. I miss him. See, there you go. That's the light there, but it's actually not really.
Wow.
So that's it. I was just using the light in the living room.
Beautiful.
So that was so much fun because that was one of the times where I was able to tell my wife, I'm going to shoot this morning. And then it was true. At 9 o'clock, I set up at 8:30, and at 9:30 I had my shot, and at 10:30 it was ready. And I was so happy.
Yeah, that is the morning.
What's great is
how do you clean up all the sand?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, I use a little, dustbin and all that stuff. I put it back into a container I have. But I mean, we do have to dust off where like the TV area is.
That's the tedious part. Yeah,
I have to shoot the Plunderlings this week, and
okay.
I'm going to be working with them for a couple of shots, and I'm really happy about that.
Awesome.
Those are really nice guys, but I want to shoot indoors with water, and I'm probably going to have to create a mess because right now it's still winter outside here. We have a bunch of snow, so I can't just set up outside.
It's going to freeze. Yep.
So that won't freeze. No, I mean, we're getting good weather. It's just that
it should be uncomfortable.
Normally I'd shoot outside in the back, but now I'd have to go outside in the front in the street, which is not good.
Yeah.
I have a shot plan for water that I'm still trying to work out in my head how to draw it out. So, you know how I used some of those pan, clear tray toppers or whatever.
Yeah.
For these windows, is I was thinking about pouring some actual water in it, and then I want to do a shot with my Jason Voorhees on the pier, and I want you to be able to look up through the water at Jason.
That's awesome.
So what I need to do is work out a piece of plexiglass that's going to support that water weight, and of course something that's going to allow me to get a camera underneath that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use a bin. Do you have a table that has an extension?
No.
Okay, because that would have been easy. I mean, if you have like just sometimes
I have a kitchen table. Yeah, I can do that. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, if you split the table, I did that once. I split the table open and I shot from underneath. That way, I just had to put that on the table, and I was using the space underneath to get that angle. Wow. The other way that you could do it is sometimes plexiglass. Maybe There's also I use a bin that I picked up at Walmart in order to fill that up with water, but I don't think that the results would be the same unless.
Yeah, because I want that light casting onto the body. Because I want the shot that I have in mind is like the moon's bouncing off the surface of the water. We're looking up through the water, so all that water ripply light effects. I want that on the figure.
Yeah,
I want to try to get that on the figure and also shoot up from the water like you're either hiding from him, underneath the dock or something like that. That's this kind of scene I want to set up. But I've been trying to think of the logistics, and you just helped me nail one of them. Is use that table, just crack it open like I was going to.
And then you set up there. That's going to be good. So it's fun when you see the viewfinder at the end. You notice that like when you see the shot itself, all I have to do is just maybe add a little bit of sharpness in Lightroom. Like I go back into the thing there, and you look, it's exactly the same. It's good.
That is insane. I love it. And I haven't been able to utilize the background with a TV monitor yet. I need a new TV monitor, one that's bigger. Because 1/6 scale, I've painted myself in a corner with 1/6 scale. Because
I need you want them full frame?
Well, typically, I mean, I usually shoot the full figure if I can. Right. But that gives me a severe limitation in angles that I can shoot from. Because even though the screen might technically be big enough, but if I'm shooting like from a low angle looking up or something like that, I'm shooting off the screen. But one thing I did figure out is in order to move the TV around, on Amazon, you can for like $100 you can buy something they use in offices that you can wheel a mounted TV to, so they can just wheel it around and adjust the height of it and stuff, and it's like $100, and it's like made for those flat screen televisions with mount systems on the back. So that's
really cool.
So
I'm gonna need
or you can get a desk and go up and down like mine.
That's much more expensive than $100 for a contraption that can wheel around.
It's actually $200 for this whole setup.
Okay, but that's more expensive than $100.
That's true.
Sure, but the amount of uses you're going to get out of having a desk also kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, my table I've already kind of gotten sacrosanct into that because I went to IKEA and I did the whole table thing. I bought my table is one of those, is two of those long IKEA tabletops back, put together. So it's made it extra wide. So it's like 4 foot by 6 foot.
Right.
And then for each side is supported by those Alex drawer systems. So I got 4 sets of those drawers, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. So that way I have room to store stuff. But that also means that I can't really move these around.
No, makes sense.
But
yeah, I can't get into 1/6, like I said.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare every single time. That's why I always do portraits. It's so much easier.
This reminds me, I'm going to bring up just my own Instagram window because I did one in sand as well.
Yeah.
And it's an older one, but it's one of my favorite shots too. Actually, I've done several in sand. This doesn't have a BTS. No, that's sand on the table there. That's all in camera. There's very little Photoshop wise, just some color grading.
Very cool.
But that's
you're like me. You don't like your own shots. Good man.
I like that one, but I think my favorite one that I did was this one.
Who likes their own shots though, right?
And some people do, man. They click that little heart. I've had a debate with other people.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's all right, But I remember, like, I was schooled by some kid I used to work with at HMV back in the day who said, "You're not supposed to like your own Facebook post, man." And I was like, "All right, sorry, man."
Yeah, I thought it was just kind of like a, I don't know, unwritten rule, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. That's a great shot right there.
Makes sense. This is my favorite shot that I've done, and with the dual lights there, it looks like a real sun. I mean, when you come over here,
that's a poster. That's a poster right there.
But that's a 1/6 scale figure. But before that, another one of where is it? Where did it go? You've probably seen these shots, but this one with the BTS, no.
Practical snow.
I'm saying again.
Practical snow?
Yes. Here's the BTS with the practical snow, though. Although I was trying to make my own little BS little video thing, so don't mind the intro bit.
Intro and everything. Nice.
Who's this guy?
Yeah. But so this is what I use for the snow. I bought it on Amazon.
That's what Trevor wanted me to buy. I never got around to it.
But
I gotta look into this. I don't know. I've never made snow
before.
That's how it falls.
Nice.
Wow. But it gets everywhere, man. Because if you got a fan running or something, it's going to carry it 20 feet away.
Power. So I know what you're talking about.
But by the time I shot this guy, though, you see how the snow is. Like you can see the rocks still here. But by the time I got the shot I wanted, these rocks were about buried.
More
You've got a fan running, yeah. There you
More
go.
snow.
No, I think it was my. It wasn't a fan. It was my haze machine that was running. So it's blowing out.
Absolutely, man. That's the best I've found so far for myself.
But yeah, this stuff, I love this stuff for my snow. It's just, it gets everywhere. You got to be very careful.
That's what she said.
But there's another shot in the that sand background there. And that's the haze machine. I got a haze machine. I paid a little extra money and bought one of those instead of a fogger. And I don't use the aerosol cans. And
that's a good investment in my opinion. I use the aerosol cans, but I use them sparingly now. I used to buy like so many of them and then just go through cans like it.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Nothing is so weird, man. I was like just blasting myself. Then I'd see these wisps in my shot, and then you try to do focus stacking after that, and you're like, you got a wisp there, and it's cut off at some point. And I was like, this sucks. I don't like.
Yeah, I hate that. That's one of the reasons I want the haze too, because it lingers a little better than fog does, and it can get the soupiness of you. I mean, I shot this at 0.5 seconds.
That looks
there you go.
Good.
That was my shutter speed, so it's actually pretty fast for getting this kind of smooth, milky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reminds me of that shot in Blade Runner.
Yeah,
there you go. Good call, man. I love that. That's a good.
I was going just for that.
Yeah, you You definitely did it.
Yeah, I was going just for that, and I did the same here with this one too. The same. Not quite.
I don't know who that character is.
Yeah, me neither. I have no clue.
Never heard of this guy before.
I don't know who that is. Bubba? Oh, that's Forrest Gump.
But yeah, this is that same snow I was using, in the other shot. But what I like about this stuff too is like as you're using it, see how it's piling up snow on his shoulders and stuff.
I usually do an initial pass when I'm using flour. What I'll do is I'll go with whatever you call it. I don't know. It's some sort of strainer anyway, and I'll just do an initial pass on the figure, just to make sure that it has that, and then after that I'll take my shots.
Well, the problem with these
on my figure,
and they have clothes, that flour would be a nightmare. Or just
I use it like an air can gun to clean it off after. I don't know, but I wouldn't. I don't know. Like eventually, if ever I were to get into 1/6, like I wouldn't do any of that stuff because then I'd go back into collector mode. But now my toys are tools, so I don't give a shit most of the time. There's a few figures that I'm gonna be very careful with, like my Gomez collection, for example, because I really love that figure. But it's just I gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's the problem with 1/6. You have to be careful with every one of them. You can't really have any fun.
Wow.
See, I got yelled at. Yeah, I got yelled at because I sprayed a $250 figure with water, and I was like,
yeah. See, this is what I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the fun thing. Like I have a really good friend of mine who was downsizing his collection, and he said, "You know what? I don't want to sell this. I want you to have it." So he sent me that. He sent me the MDX Joker, and he sent me a Gomez figure because he knew I'd never ever sell them.
God, this looks so good though. My God, the wetness.
What are you using for the? Is it EPS foam for the floor? And you're getting that all wet with water or what?
Yeah, it's just regular foam. It's sometimes occasionally I'll have to repaint it because I'm wiping it clean and the paint comes off. I don't care. It's just I'm not using this for durability. I'll just make more floors eventually. It's not a big deal. So I'll wet it as much as I can. I found that blood. I wanted to use that. I needed blood for a Mortal Kombat shot that I wanted to make with the Smurf.
The Smurf.
Yeah. And so I thought that would be really cool to create a shot where Frank got hurt. This shot was actually copied last week or the week before by some guy, and he didn't credit me, so he can go fuck himself. And so yeah, that was really a fun one to make, to just have Frank bleeding out. The only thing that I don't like about that is that I didn't manage to get the guys that he killed in the background because it's just the ring was too powerful.
I like this angle right here actually a lot. I like the close up of it because you can really see the blood, and you can still see your guy back there you're worried about. But the problem is you're also seeing some backstage stuff up here. But
that's just the BTS shot, right?
Yeah. But I like this angle for the shot. I mean, there's nothing wrong to say with this one as well, but you kind of do lose the blood on the ground from here.
That was the point, though. I wanted it to be like, whenever I'm telling the story, I don't want to make it obvious. I want people to spend a little bit more time with the shot. And the fact that you'd have smoke like that, rain coming down as well, and all that stuff, it would actually wash the blood away, and therefore you wouldn't see much of it.
That's true.
And so I take all that into consideration when I was trying to do it. But like I said, I should have brought the guys a little bit closer. I had that figure in that pose for I think 2 months before I decided to shoot it.
Yeah, he looks kind of like John Cena in his face.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe John Cena could play a pretty good Punisher
with your shutter speed in here, but we don't.
We don't?
I don't think so. Let me double check this one.
Oh no, I didn't. You're right. But my shutter speed normally for rain, and this one I actually kind of screwed up a little bit. I think it would have been at 3.2, and that would be 125. I like to stay between 125 and 160 for rain because I like the streaks that it creates.
Yeah.
Because I know that some people like droplets, and the droplets themselves, sometimes if they're using like a Windex bottle or something like that, then they're going to want to have a faster shutter speed. But because I use the same thing as Bananas does, which is a kind of garden mister, you can actually spray up, and then when it starts falling down, it falls nice and straight, and then you can gauge with your shutter speed how you want. Do you want them to be really long? Do you want to exaggerate the rain like it's a downpour, or do you want to be, you can, up your shutter speed just a little bit and then have like better droplets. This one, I really wanted it to be exaggerated rain, like everything was weighing heavy on the Punisher, So that was the idea behind that one.
Eddie Rodriguez says he wouldn't mind seeing the Cena version of the Punisher.
I was saying that maybe he could play a pretty good Punisher. I mean,
you look at this.
Peacemaker is kind of like that.
When he's got this shot, this looks a lot like John Cena here. To me, this particular angle reminds me of a lot of John Cena, particularly from Peacemaker.
Yeah.
No, it was this one. I'm sorry, because it's got the mouth for it. That's like
John Cena. Yeah, I can see.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
I was questioning your sanity, but you're actually right.
Yeah, no, I was just on the right one. One more.
That's a great figure, though. I really like him. He's the Punisher that I had. And there I'm using a bunch of stuff from other figures, right? The coat is from Old Man Logan, and then you'll have the backpack that he's wearing right there. That is from the Hazard Squad Commander, a Valley of the Mosquatch edition. Wow. Gomez. And so I like, once you have all these props or additional soft goods and things like that, it's so much fun to be able to kind of lump them onto other characters and give them another life.
Carlito says that's a great shot with the Punisher. I stepped away for a few minutes, so forgive me if someone asked already, but what do you do for your diorama pieces? Do you buy or make them yourself? That's a good question. We didn't really, you made some, but you've got given some, and have you had to buy some, or?
It's a complicated answer. I did try to buy some from a friend, and he was going through a rough time, and he ended up keeping the money. I got shitty walls, and he always undertook like more than he would actually be able to do. And for some reason, because he's a buddy, you're like, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll say okay again. I'll say he wants to make up for it. But lesson learned. Now here I am, $1,000 down and still no dio. And but I understand with the pandemic, he's a professional photographer, and I'm not gonna hold it against him or anything like that, because I figured that he needed it and all that stuff. So he's made up for it in other ways, kind of, I guess. So I tend not to. I have trouble sometimes trusting people to build dioramas for me as a result of that type of experience. So what I'll do is I'll create walls for myself, like that Spider-Man wall in the background is one that I made myself. I actually I created that wall with the hoods. It was for the vapor shot that I did for Mezco, and then I just added on top those two windows because I had created that for something else. And I was like, maybe I just take some wooden sticks and just slam that on top, and it'll look all right. And
no, is it just a sheet though? I'm sorry, for the wall brick, because it doesn't look like it's actually got any raised texture to it. Is that like a?
No, it's a brick wall, man. There's texture in it. Yeah, it's just that because of the focal, the depth of field is not going to bring it out. That's one criticism that some people have.
Just as white on top of all this made it look like it was a flat sheen here. That's why I was asking. I love this picture though. That's why I brought it up though.
Flat sheen? What do you mean?
Kind of like the light was reflecting on this to give you that kind of.
No, man, that's a light ray that's coming down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then my dad built props for me as well, which is super fun. He built a raft for me. He built a dock for Popeye and all that stuff. So. Shitty walls remind me of the South Park episode. I don't know what that
is.
But
I'm watching South Park in season 4.
Yeah, so I try to build my own. So if you can scroll through the BTS and
I was going to. I just wanted to take it in because I love this shot. This is
that one's a fun one.
Spider-Man figure is this? In fact, I might want to buy it. Sorry,
that's a Sentinel. But I had the Mofex version one as well. So what I did is I took the Sentinel Spider-Man and I used the coat that came with Mofex and put it on him.
Well, that's more money I'm willing to spend. If it was just one figure, I might would have bought it. But
you can go like a GPS lot or something like that and get yourself a coat.
Yeah. Well, I got the Hot Toys one on order just whenever that comes out, but I really like this one because you can get the pose. I mean, Hot Toys, I'll never get that pose. I'll never get that.
Yeah.
His legs won't be
Never.
able to bend like that. He won't be able to lean over like that to get that traditional Spider-Man pose, which infuriates me with the 1/6 scale figures. It's like I want to nail that pose. It's Spider-Man. He has to.
I think I can get him down a little bit more than that too. Yeah. So that's just a close up to show, like, you know, because I wanted to, like, Grime City had sent me a phone booth I had bought from him, and I just love the phone booth so much that I wanted to add like a little bit of emphasis on it. So I put a little close up there.
I love your chain link fence too. How do you go about that?
Oh, that's actually you use gutter mesh, the things that people are going to put in their gutters, and then after that, I just used cardboard straws, and I use a little bit of metal wire. So there's no real glue involved. So I just tied it all together, and then I spray painted it with a textured iron type thing, and then I weather it with a little bit of black and a little bit of rust.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right. Look at that expensive review panel, man. I want one of these, but I already spent my money on the other stuff. I love the fact you can actually go through the different colors, right? Like the aperture ones. These aren't just hot and cold. The RGB. Yeah. But they're like $160 each or something, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it came to the campaign that I did for them with the Popeye shot and all that stuff, and a little bit of videos on TikTok, so they sent me 2 of them. So I was really pleased with that. So there you go. That's what you're talking about right there. So I was just creating that little effect that came out when it came to
the light ray.
The light ray. So it doesn't come out as well as like a Sergeant Bananas light ray, but to me it added the emphasis as to where Spider-Man was. I thought it looked cool. There you go. You see it a little bit better there.
Oof. Damn. Now you almost sell me on the aerosol cans.
just for that, you need 2 of them, and then after that.
But he is a master of light rays, man. It's annoying.
Bananas is nuts. So there you go. There you can see a little bit more of the texture on the wall.
Yeah, that's some great wall work, man. You want to make me some walls? I love it.
I had fun kind of creating that one, but it was so hard. That hoods that's written there, I built that wall so that I could get like vapor running away from the cops. Mm-hmm. And I tried my best to create a stencil with the hoods. Mm-hmm. And when I peeled it off, it looked like absolute garbage. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I don't have I'm not a spray paint artist. And can I find someone in town that could spray paint something for me with like an airbrush or something like that? Oh no. And then I remember that my wife had practiced calligraphy. And I was like, listen, I need you to come. I said, it's going to be blurry a little bit in the background, but I need your calligraphy skills to kind of just, write the hoods for me in the background. And she did after a couple of tries. And I thought it was really fun. Like, sometimes when people are just trying to erase graffiti, they'll put that white paint on the wall. Mm-hmm. And so I figured, well, that would be cool. Maybe I could just kind of like figure that maybe someone would have,
like it's been retagged.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically he went back and repainted over it.
Well, Carlito was saying the diorama pieces look great. Gives the picture more meaning when you know the person taking the shot made it themselves. It's part of the art.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Have you? I mean, I've noticed that your batteries are low. Have you looked into getting the power supply battery that you can just put in there and plug in the wall? I've done that because I'm tired of playing with the battery game.
I got to be honest with you. The reason why I don't do that is because it limits my time. Otherwise, I just stay up for days.
It limits your time? Oh, having a battery in there?
Yeah. That means that I have this finite amount of time that I need to dedicate to this shot. Once it's done, I can be pissed off, but that's it.
I can't say that I have that problem. Well, the problem I always had, and this is why I ended up buying the power supply, was every time I'd go to, like, by the time I got done setting up and focusing and getting all the lights where I want it, and it's like, hey, you got to change your batteries.
Like, oh, okay. No, I set up everything first, and then eventually what I'll do is I'll have my top light. Then I'll look through the viewfinder, and then I'll be like, okay, in order to get my rim lights, I need to put a light there, and there, and I should be okay. And normally it's not too bad. My setup doesn't vary much from time to time. because I kind of know what I like to see when I'm doing it. And so, usually I'm going to have these backlights that are just going to be shining on the back of the characters, and I'll be able to work from there.
Some days I can pre-compose a picture like that in my head, but other days what I had in my head isn't working. And
right. No, that makes sense.
It's like the light's not hitting what I need, where I need it exactly how I need it. So I love that you included a little porg in here, by the way.
Yeah, I like doing that. I do that for two reasons. I do that because I like to troll some of the people that follow me, because The Last Jedi is not particularly a fan favorite, but I happen to enjoy it quite a bit. And the porgs were introduced there, and I think it's kind of a fun thing to have porgs. They're just birds. It's not a big deal. And at the same time, like most of the time, I'll have people that are going to be commenting, "Why'd you put the Star Wars birds in there? What the fuck is the porg doing there?" and all that. And it's, to me, I'm just like, keep feeding that algorithm. You're just making my post go a little bit higher up in the thing. So, but to me, I just like the fact that this little bird is so insignificant. But why wouldn't it be in these shots?
Well, you could have hashtag Star Wars too. You could have snuck that one in there with the porg.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but no, Star Wars doesn't do too good on my feed for some reason.
Kalito is saying, Mods Toy Box, really appreciate your BTS video on the Batman picture you took for the first wallpaper you sent to members. Nice to know all the work you put into it. Thank you so much, Carlito. I do appreciate that. And yes, that took me, I spent 2.5 weeks building that warehouse set. And the whole time I'm like, I just want to take the picture.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Take the picture. It's horrible to go through that, but is this? No, this was your original, right? There was is
that
the one you?
Mine, yeah.
No, see, there's your battery dying. There's your battery dying.
Yeah, but I do that to troll people too.
Oh man, I love that.
That was fun. I loved this shot so much. I don't know what happened. I just got a wild hair up my ass, and I decided, you know what? Popeye drunk pissing off a dog. No one's done that. That'll be fun.
Dude, this is just perfect, and I love it. But behind the scenes, here's how he pees.
Yeah, done in camera.
And you're happy about it. You're like,
yeah. It's just like a childish gag of like Popeye. How do I turn him? How do I make sure that he's not, showing any of that skin there? So it's just so much fun to be able to create that shot. And I remember a couple of comments. It's like, why is Popeye peeing off a dock? Why? He's never that drunk. And I'm like, in my world, he is.
He's a sailor. He should be. Carlito says that's priceless, and then Eddie Rodriguez says these Popeye photos are amazing.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, it was like the morning after. That's why he's holding his cup of coffee. It's just that he's nursing his hangover. He's dressed again, and so.
What a great figure, though. Wow.
Shots like these make me want to buy the Popeye. Like when I saw Bananas doing that Popeye initially, I was like, man, I missed that. I should have gotten one. And then I was like, I don't need a Popeye. And then I see your shots the next day later, and I'm like, damn it, I should have bought that Popeye.
He was the second Mezco I bought. I got the Clown Prince of Crime Joker, which I still have. But Popeye, I remember seeing him in shots, and I was like, who makes this, and why is it so awesome? And now I'm only missing one of them. I'm missing the MDX, the one that's all in white. I sent it as a Christmas present to Steph, Stalagmite Thriller. She's great. And I was going to buy it for myself, but I was like, you know what? She's been talking about this Popeye for a long time, so I'll buy it for her and send it to her for Christmas. And she sent me Stitch, like the Nendoroid.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool, and that was fun because like she participated in getting me featured on Good Smile recently. With my.
Is it the one in the milk? With
the one in the milk, yeah, the one in
the
bowl. Yeah.
I like that one too. I was watching that one.
Super fun, yeah. So,
but I wanted to ask you about this one.
Yeah.
Because I love this Wally. This is a great. What Wally figure is this? I need it in my life.
That one's like I got the set. Those two together, I think, are $20 or $25 on Amazon, and I just weathered the shit out of them. Because I wanted to get the new version that they have, the Spotlight series, because it looks amazing. But this one, it was one of those figures that I like. I've always loved the film. I was like, how can I incorporate Wally? And I decided to just spend a weekend weathering him. GT Rain, a guy from South Africa, had the same figure, and he actually installed lenses on it because he liked the fact that the light could actually hit the lens and give it a little bit of a glow. And so he was showing me how he did it, and I actually did the same thing. So I installed lenses on my Wally figure and just kind of make him look a little bit more like the film. And so that photo was just so much fun. It was a what if moment.
I love the alien egg there too. You don't notice it right off, but then you notice it.
Exactly. And that's it. And the fact that Eve's thing is glowing, it's one of those things I looked up online just to make sure that the trolls wouldn't hit me. And apparently, like if you watch Alien Covenant, the spores themselves are considered somewhat plant life, and therefore, if they're plant life, technically speaking, Eve could have picked it up. And as a result, my story was Eve is actually going to take that back up to the ship, and we would destroy mankind as we know it because there's an alien on board the Axios.
I would have loved to see that movie, actually.
Now that Disney owns the Alien franchise, we may
see
a Wally and Alien crossover.
That's what I told my wife. I was like, I really want to create this doomsday shot that people are going to think is sweet, but it's actually quite tragic.
Super dark.
All right. So this is the part of the show where we go over people that did the hashtags here.
Oh, cool.
This is H Green's one of his newest pieces, and he hashtagged, Invadermoz, and
it's good lighting. Look at that.
We critique the photos, constructive criticism. We don't just sit there and go, that's rubbish, and give them no excuse.
No,
Mr. H Green's been improving a lot lately.
Yeah, H Green is. I mean, if you go back and look at his earlier stuff, man, it's awesome. And Carlito's, by the way, complimenting on your Easter eggs you put in your pieces.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that. It's always so much fun because I think it adds to an extra layer. Like what's happening, what world is this happening in, and all that stuff. I do it for myself. Yeah, it's my brain.
I might take a page out of that book. I mean, I kind of do it, crossovers, but it's not as subtle. I mean, I guess the most subtle one is that Batman versus Alien one that I did with the warehouse. You gotta be looking. That's an alien tail. You gotta be looking. Like, what is that? That's the whole point, though. What is that?
H Green, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, I want to take you back to some of H Green's early stuff, man. Hold on, let me go back. This is Instagram's shortcoming. Don't mind it. Let's see. Just some earlier stuff. Isn't that that's H Green. So I mean, pretty good too, I think he's come a long way. I mean, this is not bad either, but you can kind of tell that there's a level of competency that's been gained since he's been going
lighting
on.
Looks good there.
Say?
The lighting looks good there. To me, it's interesting because it feels as though Vader's nearby, and this person's looking at what kind of havoc is about to be wrecked. And so I think that's interesting, to see that just the way that he framed it as well, even if it looks like a portrait, the fact that he's facing that way is looking at a potential evil future. So yeah, I like that. I like the glow because it's
something I never thought about last time.
Yeah, that's a whole different perspective we haven't come even close to it. That's good.
Vader's nearby. That's what that means.
Awesome.
H Greens, there's your story now. Vader's nearby, and this is H Green here. Both of these, and this one here. So, but I think he's really coming to his own with this stuff. He's getting more solid. Just.
I think he's paying attention to the lighting a bit more.
Yeah.
Some of those shots outdoors look amazing.
Yeah, he likes to take his figures outdoors, but one of his big things that he liked to do was rush his stuff, and you could kind of see it because the lighting wouldn't make sense. Yeah. And now he's really paying attention to like where his light sources are coming from and not just shooting for the sake of shooting.
Yep.
Which is what we kept on critiquing is like, you get this light here and you can see the figure, but where is the light source coming from? And here, you're looking at it and like everything that's lighting here makes sense. Just it's not like some strange light. You're like, why is that there?
Yeah.
This is really nice, smooth lighting here. I like it. One of my favorites so far, H Green. Let's see who else we got here. This one's we haven't had this person contribute before. This is Pinsy Picks.
Pinsy Picks.
I'll let you go first, Jason. What are your thoughts?
It's a fun shot. It's a portrait shot of Optimus Prime. I think that's fun. I like the glow that he has on the lights. He added that there. That's really fun. And yeah, I mean, the explosion in the background is pleasant as well, and you can see the room lighting on it as well. It makes perfect sense because the explosion's coming from the back. So yeah, this is a fun Optimus Prime shot. So yeah, I enjoy it. I like the glow that he put in the eyes as well.
Yeah,
this is a good figure, by the way. I really like that one. I have the same one, and once you weather it up the way he did, it makes the figure pop so much. So
wait a minute. You have the same figure. You've weathered it up like he did. Is this like one of your alternate accounts? Are you just trying to get more attention?
No, not at all, man. It's just that I don't know. Like when you buy that figure, it just looks like a piece of plastic, and it's frustrating. If you look at, I created a Mortal Kombat type shot where Optimus Prime is fighting Megatron. And like I had fun weathering that figure so much because once you add that paint to it, it really, really, really comes alive. So I think he did a great job on the weathering too.
Yep.
Any future projects I could drop a tease for? I'm going to be working with the Plunderlings, and I also have another series of shots that are going to be coming out for something I can't talk about.
Secret.
Yeah.
Harry, you got anything coming up?
A few things that I can't talk about as well. So we will see. I'll say that I'm shooting something with my crew, and we'll see. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Well, I can talk about what I'm going to do, but I don't really have the whole plan in my head yet. I'm going to do something for Alien Day on 4/26.
Oh, good idea. I should do that too.
4/26 is Alien Day. LV426.
I've got I got a Super 7 reaction. I'll use that. I should do that. I haven't shot like a 5 points figure in a long time. What was your idea? Sorry, I cut you off, man.
I have no idea what my idea is yet. I just know that I'm gonna do that.
Do the reverse shot. To have Batman there, and then you can see the other side.
The aliens react.
Have Batman run by.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That is pretty funny.
No, I like this shot of Optimus.
That'd be funny. But yeah, I'll be doing something for Alien Day. As to what though, I'm not entirely sure yet.
Cool.
One of my favorite shots that I've done for Alien Day, and I'd have to scroll pretty far to get to it, but it's Ripley kneeling like she's picking up her stuff, and there's an alien in the foreground standing over her, and you're just looking from between the alien's feet. Or between the legs. I mean, it's an older shot, so it's really rudimentary, but it never gets the love I felt that it really should have gotten. By the way, this is one of my favorite shots too. Since I'm
family.
I love this Riddick figure.
No, it's great, man. That's a good. I like Pitch Black was a good film.
His eyes. That's the figure's eyes. I did nothing to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's a third-party figure. We're not supposed to talk about those.
Why not?
Unlicensed. Where is that alien? Oh, this is another Alien Day one I did a while back.
He's wearing a mask, though, isn't he?
Carlito, if you want to submit your work, sir, you can just hashtag Invadermoz on Instagram, and we can do that. If you've seen The Mandalorian, this is a scene I pulled out of The Mandalorian. He's in the wrong costume, though. I didn't have the actual costume, but this is a great pose. I love this one. Oh, I did a
that's good. I like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. So I used a laser pointer to get the lighting effect on his helmet from the blast.
Wow.
And because it actually points off the gun, so it gives you a little bit of spark there, or light from the gun. There's my makeshift little snoot to get some more red pinpointed on his face. But yeah. So all those red effects were on camera, but I was still looking for that Ripley shot with the alien. It was the whole point of this scrolling and not looking through the hashtags any further. I'm looking. I wish you could search your Instagram for like pictures.
I know.
No, they don't want that.
Oh, here it is. There we go.
Oh, she's looking.
It never did well though. The algorithm didn't like me, but
You're inspired by The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Good stuff.
I don't know.
So it's like a western shot, So you'll have her basically. That would be Clint Eastwood in that sequence.
Well, this isn't my first attempt at it either. I'd done it before, and actually, I think I did it better the first time because I think on that attempt I just showed you, I think his legs were too out of focus. I think I had my depth of field a little too small.
But at the same time, had it been more in focus, it would have created a weird effect, in my opinion.
And this one you kind of have to look at, but the alien's on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the lighting in this one a bit more, I think. It's the red.
But, where is the other one? These are older shots. This is when I first was starting.
Better than mine when I first started.
Same.
Well, you see, I had a real light problem. Everything was too dark. There's the original. There we go. And again, her pose is a little off in this original one here.
Yeah, I kind of like the other shot a little bit more.
Yeah. But, yeah, I had a hard time getting everything lit up properly, and the poses weren't looking great. Going way back here, like this one I did in After Effects to get that decloaking look, but he still doesn't look like he goes with that background at all. Oh no, there's the original one. I'm sorry, that's the original.
There you go. Yeah, that looks good.
I know I've taken this shot several times.
No, that one makes more sense to me.
But it stemmed out from this one. This is what gave me the idea to do it. Was this one? The Predator standing off against the alien. But yeah.
How difficult would it be to capture a figure jumping out the window with shattered glass flying around mid-motion? Well, it depends. It depends on what you want to do. In my opinion, if you are able to create a glass effect using, like
wires, that's the
plastic,
only way.
Yeah, plastic shards and things like that, it's going to be a tedious job.
Yeah,
but if you glue it all together and you can make it do that, you can stick some to the figures as well and all that stuff. It's going to be really interesting to create. So I think that the prep for the shot would actually be long. Now, if you want to just chuck glass at a figure, I suggest you don't, because
that room
exactly, it's gonna be tricky, especially if you have house pets, because they tend to chew on things.
Yeah,
I did that with the foam here. That's why I was bringing it up, because I just chucked not glass, but foam into the shot twice to get kind of more of a circular effect, because I threw one higher and one lower.
Right.
But you could do that with something that's not glass, like little shards of plexiglass, maybe that you've controlled and. Cut that way you can get that motion blur from it.
Yep.
Problem is this shot's the ISO is so high, so I could get this Predator into some kind of focus. I mean, my ISO on this one is 6400. It was horrible ISO.
Yeah, but very high. But please try it though, Eddie. Like I would love to see that, even though, whether it's impossible or not. Like please attempt that.
But we're going back to this Mancell 472.
Oh.
I don't even know what figure this is. This is kind of interesting.
That looks like the devil from Legend, the old movie with Tom Cruise.
Kind of. It's more of a skeleton face, but yeah, it's kind of like Darkness.
So that would be Mythic Legions then.
Probably, yeah. The only thing I would want is maybe some kind of rim light on him to pull him out of that background a little bit. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe one more some white rim light on the right over there. I think could work.
It's just mainly because you're losing this horn. This horn here. It's
my screen is so small right now. I can't.
Well, let me try making it bigger. There you go.
I don't know. I like the light on the side that way.
That's about it, though. Yeah, everything else looks great.
Yeah, I think that if that's the look he's going for, that red on the side and all that stuff, then the rim lighting in the back, he has enough on that other side. It feels like this figure is actually jumping out from the shadows, so it would make sense that it wouldn't be too overlit.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, so you got two different opinions there. I'm like I said, I'm more mainly I think because I came from the shooting figures way too dark to begin with, and I'm always looking at ways to bring them out of those shadows a little bit, but yet making it look natural. So when I say a rim light, I wouldn't go with a straight white. Maybe use a blue, because again, that blue is going to counter that orangish red. It's going to be the complementary color, and it's going to make it look like, you know, you've just got, you know, some darkness there, but it's not pitch black darkness, and it just help bring the figure out. Something you can play with. You can do it if you want. It's of course all up to your own personal opinions.
Yeah.
But
to me, I feel I don't like critiquing other people's work. I have people reach out to me all the time. It's like, hey, could you check this out and do that? And I'm like, no, because I feel so bad. I'm not a coach. I don't know what I just go on guts most of the time and repeat the same thing. So I'm always a little uncomfortable. Like, it's like, to me, everything all looks good. Everyone needs to keep practicing.
No. And you're right. You're right. I mean, I would suggest you, of course, go that route as well. If you can't take it, and of course, I'm not expecting everybody to take it. Here's another one of H Green's, by the way. But
that.
Some people also like the input, and I throw out my.
No, I get it. It's just
no right or wrong way though. Yeah. But this part of the show is we kind of critique it for a little bit. Just people that hashtag, because they're the ones putting themselves out there. They want to be critiqued. So, and then of course I think H Green just likes to send these out of habit now, because I think he's past our teachings. I'm kidding. No, I love H Green's work, man.
I don't care about your input, guys.
The only thing here, H Green, is I think there needs to be more yellow on his face here. More of that color from the explosion on these guys on these sides here.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, just matching the lighting again.
Yeah, because you get this light source, and yet it's not doing anything to them. But otherwise, it's a great shot. I like it.
I like the poses too.
But that's what we do, Jason. Just stuff like that. Just we see those.
I know things. It's like I'm just, it makes me uncomfortable. I like that shot of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, I was gonna knock this guy down a few pegs here. This guy sucks.
This guy Invadermoz, he sucks.
Yeah, he uses his own hashtag.
I know, right?
I like the lighting in this too. It's good stuff.
Cancelled.
You want to go to the Millennium? We'll go back to the Joker in a minute. So Rip it tan.
God, yeah, that looks amazing.
That's good.
This is awesome. It looks like he might have. He's got a piece of diorama maybe here.
All of it's a diorama. Check his behind the scenes.
Oh snap!
It's really cool.
I'm looking
built that.
Those TIE fighters look real.
Look at that.
Those TIE fighters look real.
Yeah, but you see him on the wires here, man. This is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then he has a video, and he shows you exactly how he's.
There
you go. Look at that.
That's insane.
What fighter? So he's using like trees. He didn't even build. This is like, he's kind of built. No, all right.
Oh no, yeah.
No, it's all a diorama. Okay.
Those TIE fighters look real.
That is awesome.
That was so much fun when I saw that shot. I was like, look at that. And he's got one hitting the top, and it's blowing up, whereas the other one's still chasing. I thought that was really neat.
That is so cool, man.
It just reminded me that I needed to get out my ships and do that. I have a few micro machines that I could use.
I remember micro machines. I used to have some of those when I was younger, back in the day. This is awesome. I could just watch this all day. I like it. I love how this thing's blowing in the wind.
Yeah,
we had to use a faster shutter speed to counter that, but that's so awesome. Let me go back here.
Look at the light source. The light comes in right.
Yeah,
it's great. I like the fact that the light also hits the side on the left, right? So it shows you that this cavern actually is not necessarily a cavern. That goes in different places.
Oh, hold on. Carlito's asking H Green. I think he already answered him. How did you get the blast effect on this one? Looks great. And so I think he's using a phone app, and that's what he means by stickers. I could be wrong though. Yeah, it's a sticker from an editing app. So it's a phone. A lot of these phone apps have these sticker things now that you use. Like Loco Lu uses a sticker for a lot of his smoke/fog. So was it?
Yeah,
exactly. Star Wars ships are really cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this looks like a light ship. I mean, how it's blowing in the wind like that. It can't be that heavy unless it's a really windy day. I love it though. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Look at this Joker. I mean, this is AO.Z. Now he came in here. This is great lighting. I like this one a lot.
Yep.
What figure is that? Is that a 1/6?
He doesn't
Yep,
list
that's a 1/6.
it. Is it?
It's a 1/6 third-party figure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this version of the Joker, so
that's the Jared Leto one, I think. Nightmare Joker from.
Yeah, it's because I didn't bother watching the new version of whatever Justice League.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the Zack Snyder cut wasn't that bad if you can accept the fact that like half the movie is shot in slow motion for what reason I have no idea.
Yeah, it's way better than the theatrical cut, like 1,000 times better.
But yeah, AO.Z. There's nothing I could say about this shot. I mean,
that's good.
I can't think of anything.
The face the right way, everything. Yep.
Yeah. You got great lighting here. You got your bounce card over here on this front side. Or maybe just a really low light, because now think of it, I can't see where it'd be bouncing from, because you got a red light back here. Yeah. But very nice subtle lighting on him. I love it. It's so much to the point you're like, he's probably like watching TV or something. Like, I don't know what volcano has a TV, because I'm imagining that's like he's in a volcano. All that red, but I love it. It's awesome. But this is a great shot, dude. I love this.
Yeah.
6-Kill Galaxy. Here's a Berserker Predator 1/6, I think. This is the head for it. Really nice close-in shot of that. Yeah, Hot Toys Berserker Predator. Yeah, I mean, you got a nice, very nice look here. You got nice even lighting. It's not overpowering in any areas. It's a great little shot. I like this. Any thoughts from you guys?
No, it's a beautiful portrait.
Right.
It's a portrait shot. Colors are great.
Yep. Portrait shot. Moving on. Oh, here's that guy again. Man, this guy needs to just step off.
This guy needs to stop.
Here's another A-Train one.
How many shots do you post a week?
Yeah, this looks
or him?
amazing.
Both of you guys.
I've slowed down a little bit. I can't keep up right now.
Okay, I try. I mean,
I was doing one a day, and it's just I have a hard time doing it right now. Especially when I'm building dioramas for 2 weeks at a time. Just stopping that to take a picture is sometimes frustrating. Yeah, I love this shot a lot, man. This is a great shot.
This
looks real.
There's no call for it, but I would love to have maybe had some more light on him on the front side, but just a little bit. But
no,
you don't have
to. I think it looks.
Yeah, there's no call for it. Yeah. That's just a personal preference, really.
Yeah, stick with this Harold. Like, honestly, like this looks amazing.
I think he lives in these great outdoor shots. I mean, all of his outdoor stuff is just phenomenally done.
Yeah,
it's just great,
beautiful.
Let's see here. What is this? Master of the Mystic Arts. What is that?
What is this from again?
It looks like it's a Turtles thing, maybe. It looks like something for the Technodrome Eye or something. I don't know.
It looks familiar.
I really have no clue what that is.
This looks like a behind the scenes, but without a subject, like an actual.
Yeah, is it like a final shot that you have for this, or?
Yeah, no, it's all the same thing.
Yeah, so it's BTS. Yeah. Maybe that is the final shot. I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume this is the final shot, and I mean, this is fine. This is great, but it looks like you're just taking a picture, like you're a tourist out there taking a picture, which is great. I mean, this is probably a starting point for you, but
yeah,
it just looks like there's just even lighting throughout the whole shot.
Yep, that's a problem. Yeah, just get some lights and light it. And yeah, that's the next step.
Yeah. I mean, great start. I love the attention to detail on all the background. Yeah, you got all this going here. I love this. It's awesome, but it's really hard to make out what the subject of your shot is here, because the lighting is not conducive to give us like a direction to look. It's just a whole big picture and no real story to it, I guess you can say, with the lighting. So just work on the lighting. Bring in like one light, try that, and then two like little desk lamps if you don't have a lot of lighting. Just something. Flashlights even, just something you can play around with. Bounce cards. But let us know if you have any questions. You can always message me too if you have questions about lighting, and I'll get back to you when I can. Instagram is really bad at notifying me though about like somebody will send me a message and then like maybe 3 days later I'll see that I had the message. I was like, oh, well, that's thanks Instagram. Yep. Appreciate the messaging feature you've included, which is sometimes tells me. It's the Eye of Agamotto, apparently. All right.
Eye of Agamotto.
That's from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it is. So no.
Yeah.
I disagree.
It could be. What's up, Action Figure Academy, by the way? It's Master of the Mystic Arts, so that's Doctor Strange. I mean, he may have done that. Who knows? Let's see here. We went over this one last week. That's AO.Z again.
Yep.
It's a great use
glorious.
Of yeah.
Oh, that's the Flash.
Yeah, the lighting
perfect. Flash, man. And he's a little Photoshop love here along with.
No, that's all in camera.
Yeah, well, possibly.
He was actually running at that speed.
He was throwing the figure.
Actually, a significant other took that shot while he ran towards that. It was actually him. And I think we've caught all up. I don't think there's anything new added here. This is all stuff from previous. So
yeah, basically. Well, there's some new stuff up here that we haven't talked about. That Loki.
What?
That,
Where? What? Loki? Where? What?
There's
Loki
shot right there. Yeah, I think we haven't talked about this.
This is a nice portrait. You got a good balance of a light side and a dark side here, but this side is not so dark that you lose entirely what's going on here, which is nice.
I have trouble with portraits. Shadow. I mean, I get it, but I've never wanted to, shoot any.
Yeah, I don't find them that interesting. Like, it's really got to be, something for me to want to shoot just the portrait of.
There's one guy that does a lot of portraits that he's really good at. Kiko Collects. He's really good, and that's all he does is portraits. He shoots portraits of Hot Toys. His lighting is always cool and all that, and so I'm okay with that. It's just that it's not. I don't know. I need when I'm looking at a picture. I love to have a story there, and sometimes portraits, I'm not that particularly interested in it.
Oh, Kiko is
newest one. Yeah. Kiko Collects.
Yeah.
This is a great one too. I love this.
Look at the way his lighting is divided.
Yeah.
It's
the
great.
Blue on the side, the red on the side,
blue, red.
Which
he tends to stay in those tones, which is totally fine. But even that little glow in the eyes, is really great. Look at his Obi-Wan shot. Look at that.
Yeah, he does some great stuff. I try to get a hold of him to get him on the show, but I love this Joker shot.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks great.
Sideshow and their bots, man, they're funny.
Thanks for tagging us.
They're like, hey, you want to share that picture with us? And they're really against like any customization or something, which is funny because they. Now let's go to my shot real quick. This is funny. So I got that same message for this shot here, right? Thanks for tagging us, blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is customized. This is not no longer your figure. Okay. This is all third party masks, third party trophies, And if they had known that, they would have never tagged me. So this is their bot just going, ooh. And they did that for Wolverine too. Same thing.
I'll tag them then. I'll do the same thing. All my Mezco shots. Sideshow. Hey, if you want to share, I was like, no, I don't think Mezco's gonna like that.
But speaking of portrait shots, come on. I clicked on that thing. There we go. Now you probably know BioJack's photo here.
Oh yeah, he's great, man.
Yeah, I want to get him on the show too, but he's a new to be or just about to be a dad, so his time is really.
Look at that Pennywise shot.
Yeah, I love this. Is a good shot here, but I was looking for one in particular that he had done.
Look at that. It's so cool.
Yeah. This is the Hot Toys Pennywise, man. This is a great Pennywise. I did some shots of this guy too.
I bought the Mezco version just because I like the aesthetic of that figure. That's it. I don't intend to shoot him anytime. I just like having him. That's it. It's gonna stay in box.
Mezco Pennywise, the shots that I saw it just weren't quite where I wanted to be at.
What's that?
For not your shots or anybody's in particular, but the product shots of the Pennywise, I was like, he doesn't look like he's up to snuff where I want to be at, considering I have the Hot Toys one coming, so I didn't buy him.
Oh yeah, it's a different thing. But
there was a shot he did I wanted to mention, but I don't remember where it was.
What is it?
I don't remember what shot it was. I just remember he shot something that I wanted to mention real quick, which is why I'm on his page. And it's probably just something way older, maybe, that I'm just not scrolling down far enough to.
Leon as Captain America.
Oh,
I love that.
Dude, his shots are beautiful. I love it. And he does put them into Photoshop, and he does some work in there, but I don't care. That's the Mezco Pennywise, right? Yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Mezco.
Wow,
Pennywise.
that's creepy looking.
Yeah, that is actually. See, I want this one. This is great.
That looks a lot better than the movie version.
I'm wondering if that's the NECA spider arms, or does that come with the Mezco ones too? The spider.
No,
arms?
I think that's NECA.
Yeah. Oh, look at this! Oh, it's beautiful.
The lighting is beautiful.
Yeah, he looks great in that.
This figure is just so well sculpted. The face on this figure, oh my god, it's just. I mean, their sculpt on this. It's just so freaking amazing, which is why I'm so glad I have it. This is where I first learned of him, man. When I saw this picture come up, though.
Yep.
I was like, man, because I was gonna do this shot, and then I saw it. I was like, damn it. And I was pissed too, because he got his in July. He got the first batch. I pre-ordered it. I got it the second day it was up, so I didn't get mine till November of that year. Remember, it was like, I don't know if you remember for the Mezco, but it was like 6 months apart depending on when you ordered it. I can't find the picture I wanted to talk about.
From what I understand, the shot that you liked of Nosferatu, apparently he took with his phone.
Oh,
he took with his phone?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And when he mentioned that, I immediately did not like him anymore. No, he's a great guy.
No, he seems like a really cool guy. I've seen him on Trevor's channel a few times.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a portrait I wanted to mention. I can't remember what the figure was. It's sticking in my head, and I knew it was his, but I can't find it. It probably doesn't help that I don't know I can't remember what figure it was, but it's just, I'm going to give up. Yeah, I give up. We're going to probably be wrapping this up, actually. It's been 2 hours, but
yeah, I have to go have supper.
Yeah. So
I did not have supper yet.
Jason, you got anything coming up you want to mention before we let you go there, man? Any photos or projects you got down the pipe? I know we kind of touched on that, but I always have to end the show.
I'm kind of booked for the next month right now in shots that I can't like with the Plunderlings. It's fun. I'm really looking forward because I love those guys so much, and even the Plunderlings themselves are so much fun to shoot. That's it. And then I have another project that I can't discuss that's coming up, which is going to be really fun. It's an interesting challenge. I haven't been this challenged in a while when it comes to taking something, but yeah, it's going to be really good. And then after that, I don't know. I know that there's a few ideas that I've been cooking up regarding some Monsters Inc. shots that I want to do. My dad made some props for me for like 1/12 scale beds, so I can create kind of a room environment and things like that. So yeah, stuff like that. Other than that, I kind of don't know. Like there's toys actually right there that I can't show you guys. They're right there.
If only I had your powers, man. I want that power to have those toys right there. I can't show.
Yeah, I can't show them. They're right there.
But I'm horrible too, man. Like that the Nosferatu and Goliath picture. I finished that yesterday, and I was like, I just want to share it now, but the algorithm would kill it now, so I can't do it now. So I got to wait till tomorrow. And
no, I totally.
The algorithm still killed it, but I have a hard time sharing, like wanting to hold on to that stuff to share it.
Yeah, I can't sit on a shot too long. Sometimes I just want to put it out, but I'm slowly trying to put myself through Instagram withdrawal so that I can stop thinking that it's the be all end all place to share my work. I have a website, and I'd like to encourage people to go check that out instead, because I'm paying for that, whereas Instagram, they're making money off of my shit. So fuck them.
Well, I'll get your link tree in the description below so that everybody can get to all your stuff from there.
Thanks.
Make sure to put that in there. I need to utilize Linktree more often too. I only have YouTube and Instagram on there right now. There's so much more I probably could add, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, just it's a bunch of stuff. I don't know what else I want to put in my Linktree. Eventually I'll probably have a bunch of things that I want to share as well. But I don't know. I'm trying to wean off social media a little bit. I try to spend less time on it every day. I'm due for a Popeye shot. I know that much. I've been missing him. No, other than that, I don't have much going on.
Awesome. Harry, what do you got going on here? Anything this week?
No, not much. I'm still trying to build my diorama set here, and just trying to get some photos out. I've been a little bit inactive, so just trying to push out more content. Yeah. Then I have another upcoming shoot with my crew, but that's it. Yeah.
We are going to work on the poll this week, though, before I go and work out what shots and how to link that in the poll. Sounds good. You guys can see what we're going to do for your wallpaper this month. If you're not already a member, if you subscribe to be a member, at the end of each month, we're going to let you have a desktop wallpaper that also will be cropped to fit on your phone. This month is going to be one of Harry's pictures. We're going to put a poll up. You guys choose what picture you want as your desktop or phone wallpaper. You'll get sent both. They'll go to your email. So if you're a member, just first tier member, I actually added it to the tier member thing. So wallpapers. Yep. It's a nice little perk, I think. It's pretty great. Carlito, man, thank you for the super chat. He says, great stream, Moz, Toybox. Appreciate your work, everyone who shared. And I'm sure that goes for Jason, too, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was great having you on here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite. And thanks for hitting me up again, because like I said, I knew there was something. I knew it was you, and I just didn't remember the date. But no, that's really cool. Like I said, I'm a big fan of you guys' work. So being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. I need to learn how to put more foreground elements in my shots. So like more.
Me too.
More, because all I usually do is like them in a background, and Batman was like the one that I broke out and did a little bit of foreground, but you lose it with the lighting because the way I lit the shot. So it's just like black boxes, and the black tail with a blur on it. So
sometimes I just do it. I feather most of the time when I'm trying to do something like that. So I'll stick a light right next to it, but at the same time, I'll just turn the light towards the camera, and it'll just like that noise that we try to usually cancel out. That's what I use to do that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. With that, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And Jason, again, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Really actually, Jason, before you go, I have one quick question for you. Yeah. So I know since you shoot a lot of professional photography for companies here and there, and that's something that I want to do as well. So I just wonder, do you think there's room for cinematic toy photography for companies here and there?
I think so. Yes. Oh, I think so. Yes. The only thing is that it's a tricky situation to be in. I'm kind of lucky, that I won the contest when Mezco put out their photography contest. I won that one. It was really cool. And Mez, the owner, reached out to me to congratulate me on the win, and that was really fun. And then after that, they hit me up to ask if I would like to maybe participate in like the Doc Nocturnal thing. And that was like nerve-wracking as hell because I'd never done anything like that before. So it was like an exchange of messages like crazy, which was nuts. So I do feel that there is a lot. I just don't know what companies want. I'm not a business guy, so most of the time when I'm trying to do these things, I kind of just like, I don't know what to charge most of the time. And it gets really weird, because most of the companies don't want to pay. None of them, most of the time.
Sounds about right, which is weird.
It's frustrating.
I would be the best guy then. I'd be like, just give me the free toys and I'm happy.
But see,
Yeah,
that's
give me
the
free
thing.
toys and I'll take your
What that does, though, is that it devalues the market and the art, and it's frustrating because that's what they do now. Like Hasbro is probably the best example. Is they hit me up once to try to do pictures. I think it was for some Marvel stuff, and it was incredibly frustrating because what they did is essentially when I sent them my price, they went with the guys that they normally work with. So the guys that they've been working with forever. So what they do is they just basically go down a list to see who they can get that can possibly be okay for what they need without actually having to pay for those individuals. So eventually they're like, well, fuck it. Well, if we're going to pay people, we're just going to go with the people that we already have a relationship with. And the problem with that is that the guys that they work with already are very young. So they're going to be around for, we don't know how long. I mean, look at Jax. Plastic Action is working with everyone right now. You know, Mitchell Wu has got his places here and there. You know, you'll have a couple of people like Trevor's over with Mythic Legions. You know, I doubt that they're going to change anything with regards to him, you know, and plus he does great product shots, and also he does great shots when it comes to creating the worlds that these guys need. You know, he really loves the product. Like for me and Mezco, I mean, they use me when they feel like they need to use me, and they'll go with other people. You know, I remember Mr. Lee's name being mentioned a couple of times, and when I saw him work on Atticus Doom, I was like, ah, shit, I would have loved to work on that. You know, it'd have been really, really fun. But for your cinematic shots, I definitely feel that there is room for that. There's room for everyone, man. You know, so the only thing I can say is maybe eventually, you know, then it takes them a year to pay. Oh, Trevor's still here. You can testify to that. Exactly. It's so long, you know, sometimes to get the money. Like I'm going to be working with another company right now. They've already paid me. And I'm like, that is fucking cool. We don't even have a shot yet, you know, and it's like, we like your stuff. We can't wait to see what you're going to do. Here's an advance if ever you needed to like buy props or something like that. And you're like, that's exactly how I want to work.
Ask you, do they pay you for the props and stuff? But
that's awesome.
Well, I mean, like I can use it, you know, I could technically put it on the bill, and it's like, well, listen, if I'm going to need a build diorama, I could possibly do this, this, and this. But at the same time, these are props I'm going to use myself eventually, so it's not really a big deal for me to take it out of my budget. But at the same time, like I do feel like, yes, there is a lot of room for that. I actually think that the type of photography that you do is essentially where we're all going to have to be headed. So in a sense, I feel like you're ahead of the curve when it comes to these types of shots. So I don't know, keep tagging companies, man. Keep, you know, trying to put your work out there, and I think that eventually you'll get, you know, the clout that you deserve, both of you, in my opinion, anyway. So,
thank you.
Yeah,
well, thank you.
Yeah, that's great to hear, because I always thought, you know, it was just kind of too niche, I guess, for any, you know, big companies to be like, hey, we need that kind of stuff. You know,
toy
to promote
photography
our
is
stuff.
niche in and of itself.
That
man.
is true. That is true.
They're like toy companies. You got to look at it this way. They are profiting off the fact that we're doing free advertising for them all the time.
Yep.
They don't have, you know, they don't have to push a product. We're doing it for them. You know? So
I know I've sold a lot of these custom Batmans, man.
There you go.
Everybody keeps, you know, asking me about, you know, this figure here, and I've talked to several people now that ordered this guy. He's not cheap, man. So yeah, it's great, but sorry, let's
but that's it. No, I mean, I think that eventually, you know, it really depends. It's a question of timing. I don't even know how it happened for me with this, you know. So I just happened to be at the right spot, you know, for this type of thing, and it, you know, I built a friendship with them to an extent as well, you know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm really, like I said, I'm looking forward to working with these guys. These guys are, you know, they're not everyone's favorite characters, but for me, they bring me so much fucking.
It's adorable.
They're really cool. It's it's a different challenge, right? And at the same time, even if like people are used to seeing like Joker shots or something a little bit more violent, and at the same time, when I show up with something like this, people are like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'm like, because I'm having so much fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I don't want to hold you. I don't want your significant other to get mad at you. So
no, man, she's drawing. She went from knitting to drawing. She's doing good. She's doing all right, baby. See, smiles.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to eat too. So.
Camera. She's like, ugh.
Yeah, I do have to. I'm a little hungry now.
So I don't want to hold you up, but thank you so much for coming in tonight, Jason.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. I hope you decide to come back at some point. I'd like to get you and Trevor on sometime, maybe. We have you both in here, maybe even with Jared, because Jared was my first guest when I started doing this show.
Right,
Jared from Sir Dork.
Yeah.
So maybe get the whole panel of you guys, man. Some of the big,
that'd be awesome.
Instagram guys.
You have a Royal Rumble of toy photography.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Someone says something stupid, you kick them out.
That'd be a TV show right there.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Thank you.